Happy holidays, blessed day, whatever you celebrate, whatever day it is for you, these are timeless. But for me today, it is December 11th. 2020. It's the day before the 12/12 portal, and then my birthday's on Sunday the 13th, and then the 14th is the new moon. So, and it's a total solar eclipse new moon, and so I understand now why Spirit wanted me to wait to do this pickapile reading. Today's pickapile reading is themed around the new moon energy. So, I like to do our music things, and what I got from Spirit was this one, Released by Ryan Stewart, and it's from an album called Equanimity. And so I was like, okay, I get it. The new moon, like we're releasing, a lot of times that people say, oh, the full moon's releasing. I'm like, yeah, but I think they all kind of have that, right? I mean, the new moon, we're setting new intentions, but we're also, because they say you go through the phases of the moon. So, on the full moon, you release all that which no longer serves you, and then you're like building up to the new moon where it's like at the darkest, it's at the brightest point and then to the darkest point, so that you can go into the darkest place and find what it is that you need to do to move forward, right? To set a new intention. But I think there's something really powerful about releasing the energy that we've been going through, whatever it is, regardless of the moon cycles, really, right? And I know that sounds redundant and silly because of because of the new moon and what I just said, and it's the reading, but you hear what I'm saying, right? The next thing was, while I was setting it up, it was Majesty, and it was Music for Compassion and Healing by, is it Aolo? I can never say it right, so I'm just gonna, anyway, Aolaya? I don't know why I can't, it's the craziest thing. Anyway, but the next song that came on right before we started was Shake It Out. Now, it's a cover from Smash, so that may mean something for you guys. If you're really into musicals, rent seasons 1 and 2 of Smash. It's really good. Anyway, so what Spirit was saying was, though, release it, shake it out. Like, shake it out. We want to shake it out like those last remnants. Like, what is it? What is it? So much has been going on, and I know I've been really focusing on the high vibrational energy, and also on basically just like staying in your lane and like staying in your energy so that you can go through whatever it is you need to go through. Because if you're going through something already personally, like you're in a depression, you're in a funk or whatever, and then you turn on the news or you go to the stores or you do something, it's just gonna like heighten that, right? It's just gonna like make you feel, so do what you can to stay home, okay? Stay in your sparkle. But there's so much sparkle wanted to come today. And so I feel like the fairies are like, you know what? Let's just release this energy. Let's shake it out. Today's theme is, they had me look up, 310 when I looked up, which is the number 13 backwards. What? Right? So today is messages from our spirit animals. What do we need to hear right now? What do we need to hear right now to help us release and shake out that energy? What guidance? Which spirit animal do we need guidance from right now? Right? It's interesting because, like I said, I love when these pick-a-pile readings. Before I was kind of just putting them out, and then I realized I'm like, no. There's a reason why it was initially Lula's Labyrinth, because it's this place of like, it's everything. There's a little bit of something for everybody, right? You get, your dancing, your music, your singing, you get the real talks, you get readings, right? What are you saying, Spirit? Oh, right. Like joyful energy, or you go for like, when you need to like, because I'm the first person that's like my mom always said, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, come sit next to me. The difference of that is I used to be like that, and not that I like to gossip or whatever, but I've always been a good listener. But what I'm meaning by that is, if you're struggling, I don't want you to feel shame around being angry or feeling hurt or whatever it is you're feeling right now. Shame is a shitty, sucky thing, and I have been watching it firsthand. My beloved friend Edward, it's just so hard to watch somebody struggle that hard, and so I really understand, and I'm here to hold space for you. I'm here to when you need the compassion or when you just need to get it out. I have a few people who are like, Lula, can I just vent for a few minutes? I'm like, go at it. I'm like, I got your back, because I'm always ready. I can handle it. But sometimes other people can't handle it, and they're in a place where maybe they're trying to be this beacon of light for their tribe, but they're like crumbling on the inside. And spirit, the message from spirit right now, overall message before we pull cards, is that it is just time for us to each individually heal ourselves, work on ourselves, stop concerning ourselves with what's happening on the outside. The only thing I will say is, if you're in a situation, a living situation, where you're uncomfortable or uneasy, or it's really hard for you to breathe, I really highly recommend that you get out of there, even if it's just for a few weeks. Even with everything that's going on right now, just be like, hey, can I come visit you? Can I come stay with you? Whatever. I'm not going to get into the whole virus and whether it is or isn't a hoax or whatever. I think everybody has to do what's individual for them. And with that being said, this is our cute little, these are our spirit animal cards, right? But Goddess Mother and Roosevelt, the three-legged pig. Larimar. I never know what this one is. Somebody gave it to me once. It feels like a calcite, but it also feels like a quartz. I don't know. It's really powerful, though, and I love it. And this beautiful, sparkly fairy butterfly energy wanted to come in and let you guys know that you are loved, that you are safe, that you are protected wherever you are. This is a different pick-a-pile. Normally I like to, set it all out or whatever, but lately I've been doing whatever I'm told to do, and this is a little more intimate of a pick-a-pile. So if you aren't sure which number yet, right now I feel like we're doing 4 piles. 4 feels really good to me, but we'll see how things go. There may be a bonus pile. I feel like there's a bonus pile for the tribe, but don't hold me to that. I just heard one of my really sweet fairies are like, we're gonna do a bonus pile. Like, she can't even light candles. She's like in the middle of the background like this, like she can't even handle it anymore. She's just like so excited, and I'm like, I feel your energy. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Which is so great because I feel awesome. So go and look at the picture. Okay, so I'll put it 720 is, if you haven't decided which pile you want yet, or the number hasn't called to you or whatever, I don't know how Spirit even is going to have me label them yet. But there will definitely be a picture of some kind for you to choose for my visual people, and then they'll be numbered for sure, but there may be something next to the number. I'm not sure if the animals will want to actually have their name out there, or if it's more for like the intuitive to like go deep and choose intuitively through the numbers. I don't know. All I know is I'm really, well, okay. I was about to say something and they're like, no, don't say that. But it was something like we were having a conversation. I was about to say it and I thought it was okay, but they realized they're like, no. So we'll just see. We'll see what little surprises the fairies have for us today. But before we start, I want to do just a small little prayer for all of us. I know most people now, my regular clients, I'll be like, do you want to do a prayer? They're like, no, I'm good. I'm all good. I did my stuff this morning. I'm fine. I'm like, okay. But then there are some people who are like, oh, yes, I want a little prayer. I want a little prayer. So close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. And breathe whichever way feels good to you. We're going to clear the air, Spirit. We're going to clear that tension, that darkness, that roots, the roots. Sacral chakra. The roots. Solar plexus. All the way up, all the way down. Work them out. Whoop. I call upon our higher selves, our spirit guides, our animal guides, especially our animal guides from the underworld, the spirit animals. Thank you for watching over us, protecting us, guiding us, for loving us, for looking after us, for just being there in those moments when we need you, when we see you slither across our path or fly above our head. We love you, spirit animals. We love you so much. The underworld, without you, where would we be? I call upon the Black Panther, the king of the underworld. A lot of people don't know this, and they want me to say this, is Black Panthers actually have spots. They're black leopards. And I'll let you research that. We may even pull that card, we'll see. But we call upon thee and say thank you, thank you, thank you. I call upon my spirit guides and my animal guides. Thank you so much. Thank you to the beautiful pink cockatoo, my good friend. Thank you to Ellen, the dolphin. Xavier, the bloodhound. Who are you? Oh, I've never met you before. Oh. Well, thank you. Well, yes, everybody come, everybody come. Oh my gosh, you guys have so many spirit animals. So I don't know how this is going to go, but it's going to be amazing. So thank you. Thank you. All are welcome. All are welcome. We now call upon our archangels, our angel guides. There was a lot of different different languages I didn't understand. Thank you. But then they translated it quickly for me. Our spirit guides, our I am presence. Thank you for being here today. To the gods and goddesses, the representation from the ancestors, from our spiritual ancestors of the animal world. That was divinely put through. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And to our benevolent creator. All are welcome. We are protected and guided by my archangels and your archangels and all those who watch out for us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This container is open and secure and full of love. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Thank you all for being here. I claim all of this for us, and so it is. Blessed be. Oh. Woo! Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And the butterfly came right away. So let's pull these cards, you guys. Let's see. Ooh, look at that. What is that all about? They don't want to come out. I'm like, okay. I'm like, all of them? No? I'm like, it's literally slipping out of my hand. I'm doing it so hard. Okay, so these are the animals that we're going to work with today. I don't know if it's all of them. So if you've already chosen your pile, go right to the number. If you're pile number 1, welcome. And this is pile number 1. Ooh, the mountain lion, number 17, the mountain lion. Okay, well, you know what? I'm hearing mixed messages, so I'm just going to clarify this. Okay. So, pile number 1, mountain lion. We're going to pull the piles now, and then we'll pull more, but like right now, they're telling me pile number 2, number 46, the blue heron. Oh, this is so exciting. Oh, I'm going to put them up here for me. Okay, so I can kind of see what's going on. Okay, so, and let's see, Spirit, how many piles? I don't even know what we're going to do here. Pile number 3. Ooh, the jaguar! Ah, we got a lot of cat medicine. And look at this, man. Look at pile number 1. Damn. And look at the difference. Look at the difference. I love when they do stuff like this. So if you haven't, maybe you haven't drawn yet, but it's like, which imagery are you more drawn to right now? I'm not even going to say any more because so much came through already that I really want to leave it for each pile. So let's just see where we're going. Also, I was meant to say this, but I'll say it now. This reading is brought to you by Peppermint essential oil. Oh, right now, Peppermint is saving my life. And every time I run out of it, it's like a drug. But I really like it more for this than anything. It's really strong. It's really potent. You don't want to eat it. It's really strong. But it's really good in the diffuser. Really good in the diffuser for sleeping too. So okay, here we go. Focus, focus, focus. Thank you, Spirit. Pile number 4. Ooh, the fox. Number 25. Wow. Interesting. So far just 1 bird. And so far just 4. So we'll see what we're gonna do here. Okay, let's see. 14. Okay. Oh wait, Spirit. I forgot to clarify. This is me. Is this pile number 5 or is this for pile number 5? If it's no card, then I know it's a bonus pile, right? Do you hear what I'm saying? So let me be more specific. Is this for pile number 5? If nothing comes, I know that it's not. There's no pile 5, right? Does that make sense, Spirit? My Karen, you got it. You hear what they're saying. 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 Oh, there is a pile number 5. Ooh, number 26, the squirrel. Wow, this is going to be a good pick a pile, you guys. Okay, is there a pile number 6? And if not, then I'll know that's a... Okay, so there's no pile number 6. Is there a bonus pile? Is there a bonus pile that's like for everybody? Or... Okay. Ooh, damn. Number 50, the alligator. And that's it. So we have a pile, and that's it for the... That's it? Oh. Hold on, let me see, because this is a very interesting thing. Is this for a numbered pile? Is this for the bonus pile? Is this a second bonus card? Okay, that's what I thought. All right. So are we done so far in terms of picking? Okay, here we go. So those are your piles, you guys. And, you know, so I'll do like a choose pile. And then, yeah. So now we're really going to start with pile number 1, number 17. Ooh, I love how that did that. The mountain lion. Man, can I just say, number 17, also the number 8, I feel like you guys are fierce motherfuckers. Like, the second I saw this card, I was like, damn, I'm like, you guys are not playing. However, I do believe this might have been in reverse. I felt like it pulled, was it in reverse? Okay, so are we going to read both today, Spirit? Are we going to read both? Or are we going to focus on the reverse? We're going to focus on the reverse. We're going to focus on the reverse. No? Yes? You want me to read the whole card? Oh, reverse first. Gotcha. Okay. All right, so mountain lion. And I always like to show the card in reverse because sometimes it's like you see things from a different perspective. Even if it's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I'm not going to say anything right now. I want you guys to look at it for yourself. Okay. So the mountain lion. Let me get that. Number 17. And I feel like the number 17 might actually mean something for some of you guys because I feel like my instinct is always go to like, oh, it's number 8, you know? But they're saying that the number 17 is really powerful for you guys. Okay. This is, and you know, just so you know, every spirit animal has a keyword. And yours is leadership. But it was in reverse, right? And they always have like a little poem. And this one says, Mountain lion, O kingly leader of sleek feline form, touch my heart with courage, then sound the alarm, that I may lead with foresight, assurance bright and true, to carry on the spirit of the strength I see in you. Oh boy. So let's see. It's interesting. They do want me to read both, but they want me to read the one in reverse, but they want me to start with this. By the way, they've been doing bombing. I live by a army base, and they've been doing bombing all week. And, of course, you know, it was quiet, and I thought, you know, so it just started. My apologies. Try and ignore it. You may not even hear it. I hope you don't. I can feel every time, so if I jolt, I apologize. Okay, so mountain lion medicine involves lessons on the use of power in leadership. Even though that's the second paragraph, it was like it was illuminated on the page. So we're going to go to the reverse meaning and then we'll come back. If your mountain lion card is reversed, you may be playing with fire. A leader who tries to lead through tyranny or dictatorship has forgotten the medicine of truth. Through the reversal of this medicine, you may be tricked into believing that nothing else has validity except the ideas created by yourself. Watch out. Rome crumbled just for this reason. If this aspect of the contrary medicine does not apply to your situation, look at other messages which Mountain Lion brings in the reverse position. If you avoid taking your place of leadership, it could be because the whole idea scares you silly. This is a normal state of affairs for one who has never been a leader before. In this instance, it is necessary to call upon the courage of lion and to begin by learning the lessons of the lion-hearted. Another message of mountain lion reversed is to not let yourself be led down the primrose path by a leader who is abusing power. If you want to put yourself on the road to being a leader in your own right, ask questions of anyone to whom you have given authority. See if they carry the medicine of mountain lion, and whether you can grow into your own leadership by observing how they handle the task of setting examples. Become mountain lion by refusing to hide in the cave of your own shyness or uncertainty. Roar with conviction, roar with power, and remember to roar with laughter to balance the medicine. Yeah, because I'm getting like some of you guys are just way too serious, and I'm also seeing like the kind of timid rabbit energy, which is really interesting. So let me see, because I'm curious to. Is there any other cards you want to pull with this one? Oh, okay. It's spider, but it was in reverse. And we'll get to that, but spiders are all about weaving webs and community, and so it's like, are you someone that's out in your community right now and you're not maybe you started your community a certain way, or maybe you went off in this direction and then you went off in this direction and you were just having so much fun, you were just like going like a locomotive, and now you're like, whoa, look at it, and you started all these different things, and you're like, and now you're trying to be like, run this group and help these people, and you're over here, but these people are relying on you for this, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's just too overwhelming. And whether you have kids or you don't, it's like, that's still overwhelming. But if you also have like littles on top of it, or a significant other and that and all that stuff, there's so many of us that are in this tribe that are overachievers. We overwork. We are workaholics. We just want to help. We want to help. We want to help. But I'm hearing you're really getting lost in the shuffle of that for some of you. And then the spider in reverse is almost like, what I get from that energy without even reading the card is that these community members, it's like I feel like you started out here and like the web was getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And now it's like you're still here, but you have like people over here, and you kind of don't want to talk to this, but this is connected to that. And it just feels like an unraveling of the web is what it feels like. And it sounds scary, and it sounds like, oh my gosh, how can I do that? Like I can't. They're like, yes, but it's like, but you're this spider in the middle, and you're the one that has to keep rebuilding the web, because like people are disconnecting, or they're not like coming into their own full power on their own. You're over helping them. You're not helping yourself enough. And I'm just getting this like, like this is like, when I first saw this, I was like, fierce, fierce, fierce. But now when I see it, I feel like this is you going, stop! I can't take any more. Stop! And so you're just like, I'm not even going to lead at all. I'm just going to step back and just fuck them. I don't even care. That's okay. But there's a part of you that's still holding on to it because you feel like you need to be this or you need to be that. And it's like, but you're unraveling at the seams, my sweet mountain lions. You're unraveling at the seams, and it's not beneficial for you. And the spider medicine is something that you cherish. In fact, I have a feeling for most of you in this group, either spider is one of your spirit animals, or it's like you're like, oh my gosh, I have spiders around me all the time. Like, feel free to comment below. But I feel like people are like, oh my gosh, you don't even know, or I hate spiders. And I've told this to people because I can tell you from my own personal experience how much I was terrified of spiders, hated spiders, whatever. And now I love them. They're like my best friends. I saw one, was it yesterday, the day before, and I was like, oh, hi. Like, I felt upset that it was in a cabinet, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I disturbed your slumber. Like, I wanted to use that mug, and I was like, oh, how come I never use that mug? And it was far in the back, and we're pretty good about like washing up as we go. But I was like, oh, I love that mug, and I went to grab it, and it's like, I was like, oh my gosh, it's moving. And so I was like, I'm sorry, grandmother spider, and I like put it back, and like, I'm like, rebuild your web, I'm so sorry, But this is the time where they're hibernating, because spiders can move really quickly, but they actually cannot move very quickly if they haven't eaten. It's like they have to reserve their energy. So when you see a spider going, that exertion of energy for them is like us going 100 miles per hour. Like, it's just like, it takes so much energy, right? Like, it's whether you like jog or you like sprint a marathon, it's like, it's like you're going to get there the same way. But if you like take your time to get there, but for the spider, it's like they don't have that, right? They have to grab their prey, and they have to whatever, but that takes a lot of effort. Anyway, so I'm hearing this analogy will mean something to you guys. And definitely look up spider spirit medicine. Just Google it, and like whatever comes up underneath. And welcome to the new subscribers. Thank you so much for being here. Also, I just heard from Spirit, it's interesting that the bombs are going off now, because I feel like it's like a metaphor for you guys. Like, there's like these little bombs. You feel like this is why you're in this right now, right? Because you feel like these little bombs are just like constantly going off around you, and you're just like, I can't. You're like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I want to see if there's any other messages. It's interesting. I thought I'd keep the spider out, but they said no. Oh, the Black Panther in reverse. Oh my gosh, you guys, did I not talk about this? The Black Panther is the king of the underworld. They are the ruler of the underworld. I brought them in. I invoked their spirit. I wondered if they'd come in. Thank you to all of you guys. But like, oh, so powerful. I'm definitely going to read this to you, because then this is going to be, I don't know if we're going to pull from other decks, but we're definitely done pulling spirit animals for you guys. I mean, come on. It's like, after this one, it's kind of like, I mean, there's a lot of them that are really profound, but, well, I'll put that there. We'll see where that ends up. But I'm going to definitely read it too, because it was in reverse, and they want me to read you the reverse meaning, and then we're going to end on the positive side of the mountain lion. So let's go there. Black Panther, which is embracing the unknown. You know, I said like each animal has a term. It's embracing the unknown. Okay? And it says, "O midnight Jaguar, wash me with your courage and steal me with your grace, so I may know the value of the void of time and space. Teach me all your lessons, how to face the dark unknown. Then let me bravely leap into the shadows all alone." You know, and for some of you, maybe you've relied on your community or your family or your significant other or somebody else to like bring you happiness or bring you joy. And I'm hearing like it's no more. Like because they're not really bringing you joy. You know it, they know it. It's like there's something missing there. And so, you know, to find your sacred path is through yourself and not through like finding the answers in your community, like, you know, the mountain lion said, not finding your answers in others but in yourself. If Black Panther is appearing as contrary, you may be seeing situations as black or white, good or bad, with no middle ground. Be free of mental presuppositions and expectations. It could be time to do some house cleaning. Let go of negative people, limiting thoughts, or any fear of being alone. If you are out of balance, your shadow may be creating demons of fear. Enter the stillness and refuse to surrender your personal authority to avoidance mechanisms, justifications, or mental gymnastics. I literally just used this phrase recently. I'm like, I feel like I am constantly doing mental gymnastics with certain people. And and because I was a gymnast and a cheerleader, for a very long time, and I knew the discipline of that. You know, as much as I love gymnastics, when I was done, and I didn't want to constantly have to do it, right? It's the same for you guys. It's like, if you're constantly going through the same paces with the same people and the same situations, it's like the only thing that can change is you take you out of it. So if you're in a community of people that maybe you started this community like 3 or 4 years ago, and you were on this place in your path, and, you know, you've been trying to get to this place, but you're not getting to this place, and you're like, why am I not getting to this place? You're like, you're not getting to this place because that's a plan you had, that even if it was 6 months ago, even if it was a month ago, it doesn't matter, because we're seeing how fast things are speeding up. And this new moon solar eclipse energy, like, this is no joke. This is definitely the time to say, okay, this is what I want. Do not list what you don't want. Only say, this is what I need right now in my orbit. You know, show me what is in my greatest and highest good, spirit. Show me what is in my greatest and highest good. You know, maybe you thought you were going to go do this job, but now something keeps coming at you and you're like, I don't know. I don't really want to do that. You're like, okay, but maybe it's not the job itself that's coming for you. Maybe it's something like it, or it's a situation that spirit just wants you to start looking at it, right? You know, it's like when you get to those points where you're basically fighting against yourself and you're fighting against spirit and you're fighting against the system, that's good. That's when you are like, so like, I can't, that you're about to break the fuck through. You're about to break through, and you're going to break through really, really hard, and it's going to feel really good. And right now we all kind of feel like we're being squeezed. We feel like these big, big light being squeezed through this teeny, tiny pinhole, and we're just like, how do I get in there, you know? And it's like calling on that mouse energy to let us get in. It's like, people are like, how did they get in there? And you're like, oh, mice they can move their little skeletal structures around. You'd be surprised how little of a hole they can get through, right? So I'm getting that from spirit. It's like, you know, call on the power of the mouse. You know, look at mouse, spirit animal, if it calls to you. But otherwise, if you got the analogy, there you go. But they're saying, like, it's the mental gymnastics that's wearing you down. It's the mental gymnastics. You're stressing yourself out, and it's not even you. It's not even you. It's not even you. Roosevelt wanted to come and be a mascot. Also, the chickens and the rooster are out, and I love, it's like whenever I'm doing spirit work, it's like they know I come outside and they're like right by the fence, like right by my house. I'm like, hi. They've got like 10 acres to roam. They're like right by there. I'm like, hi guys. Anyway, you hear where we're going with this? So I'm gonna see if we can get any more like clarifiers for you guys, like what you need to work on. Is this it? This one? Okay, so we're gonna pull from, oh, okay, yes. 17 mountain lion. 17 mountain lion. Let's go back to that. So mountain lion can be a very difficult power totem for you to have because it places you in a position to be a target for the problems of others. You could be blamed for things going wrong or for always taking charge when others cannot. You could become the perfect justification for the insecurities of others. Mountain lion medicine involves lessons on the use of power and leadership. It is the ability to lead without insisting that others follow. It is the understanding that all beings are potential leaders in their own ways. The use and abuse of power in a position of influence are part of this great cat's medicine. Also, Spirit told me to look, that I was going to keep Pandora going, but keep the volume down, because there may be songs. They said there was going to be one song that they wouldn't let me play on YouTube, and I don't want to fuck up the video. Okay, so this is your music, is the Mystical Trance by Anugama. And maybe this will be like next to the pile. Because that's kind of how you are. It's like, you can be, like, if you look at this, like, what if somebody snapped this shot when actually the mountain lion was yawning? And was yawning, but it comes off as like that, right? I've done that sometimes. I'm taking a picture of Bubba, and it's perfect because she'll yawn, and in the picture she looks like she's going, but she's not. She's just like, she's actually stretching. So flip the script, right? Look at this beautiful cat is in a magical, mystical trance. So they're saying to find your answers is to go inward, to meditate, work with Black Panther medicine. We're going to pull from the energy card. So that is yours, Mystical Trance, Anugama. They also told me to look, and it was 1431 on my phone, which is 589. Ooh, and then it's 46%, so it's like 910. So they're like, you're almost there, like you're in this progressive. That's what they're saying. It's almost like a progressive trance, though, and it also feels like for some of you guys, I feel like I'm getting a scratch on my third eye, like really hardcore. For some of you guys, and Larimar, you guys are the ones that find yourself some Larimar to work with, okay? Larimar, Larimar, Larimar. And if I forget to post it, feel free to post it down there if you chose pile number 1. What were you saying, Spirit? They were continuing with something. There was a lot of people who were like, don't forget this, don't forget that. I'm like, I got it. Okay. So they said, keep going. By observing the graceful pounce of mountain lion, you will learn how to balance power, intention, physical strength, and grace. This relates in human terms to the balance of body, mind, and spirit. The giant feline never wastes anything. It only kills what it needs for survival. The female lion is the hunter who graces her table in a style akin to mother energy. And I think that's interesting because they literally told me, they're like, after this paragraph. So we're going to go to the energy cards, and I may finish reading that bit or I may not. So let's see, pile number 1. Spirit, what's the message for pile number 1? And let me put this back here. Okay, pile number 1. What's your message? Do we have a message from this? Okay. What's our message? Okay. Oh, number 9. Oh, look at that. It said 9 and then 10. A broken heart. Oh, I understand, my loves. I understand. Yeah, it's hard to like divide yourself. It doesn't matter. It's like, this is the thing. Love is love. Romantic love, family love, animal, for your pets. Like, it doesn't matter. You're familiar. Love is love. So of course you have a broken heart because you have to make changes. You have to like dissolve relationships with certain people. You understand now that like what's happening and it's going to keep going. And if we keep spinning out in these, because the irony is, I was saying this to my partner yesterday. I said, when I was a little kid, I remember specifically saying to my family, like I remember saying like things like, I'm going to be famous someday. I'm going to be really famous. I don't know why, but I'm going to be famous. And then people would be like, are you going to be an actor? Are you going to be a singer? And I was a child in the 70s. And I was like, I don't know. I just know I'm going to be famous. I don't know what for. I don't know what's going to happen. And then over time, it kind of became a joke, from the law, because I was always like a partier and getting into trouble and getting arrested and stuff. I never killed anybody or robbed anybody or anything. It was usually just, being in the wrong place at the wrong time or partying. But, it's interesting. And then I started to realize, I'm like, it wasn't about being famous. It was just the languaging that I understood that was around me. Like, this person did this, so everybody knew who they were. They were famous, right? They were an actor. They were famous. They were a sports person. They were famous. Phil Donahue. My mom watched Phil Donahue, and I knew who Phil Donahue was. Of course I did, because my mom watched his shows. I knew who my soap opera people were because, my mom watched her stories, or people watched her, you know what I mean? And so there's just like this energy that we start to realize, and I was like, oh my gosh, it wasn't about being famous. I just knew that I was meant to help people as a leader in a way that wasn't the norm, that wasn't like what I was raised in on the south side of Chicago in a blue collar family, like my dad worked on cars. It's like we were upper middle class is what was our title as a kid. So programming we get from our family and from our friends, or maybe you always felt that you were a leader, but somewhere, somehow, like maybe you went for class president, you didn't make it. Maybe you tried out for cheerleading and you didn't make it, whatever it is. But usually things stem from our childhood, or maybe, you were like, I'm going to be the president someday, and your family or your parents were like, please, that stuff sticks with us. So get to the nitty gritty of it, right? Mend your broken heart. Nobody else is going to mend your broken heart but you. Nobody. Absolutely. Positively, nobody. Because once you love yourself enough to say no, that's when things really start to come together. Yin and yang. It's about balance, right? So for some of you, I heard right away, right out the gate, this is for business. So for some of you earlier when we were talking about relationships and breaking up, or like the community or whatever, I feel like this applies to you. This can apply to everybody, of course, like having balance. But this yin and yang, and also they didn't have many. Oh yeah, it's number 22, which is also the number 4. And yin and yang and 4 is balance, right? Like you need 4 legs to have like a square table for it to not tip over, right? Like you can put stuff on the side that has the 3 legs, but if you put something heavy on the side without the leg, you fall down, right? So you need that balance. You need that balance. Let's see, are there any other messages in here for this group? Ooh, hostilities, number 26, and it was in reverse. And for some of you, it's like, it's, going back to your mountain lion, right? And you're like, I will scream, don't even come near me. Like, I feel like some of you have this like held high. Also, this is a sword. And if you look at, sword is air signs. So this could also apply to somebody in your life who's an air sign. Okay. But I just, right out the gate, I just also, this symbology, like, I feel like this means something to somebody too. And for some of you, it was in reverse. And for some of you, I also feel like you're not being strict enough with yourself or with other people. And you're just letting people railroad you and railroad you and railroad you. And Spirit's like, that is not what you're here for. You know why? Because you're a healer for the ages. Number 51, which is also the number 6. So you can look up the number 51, angel number, or the angel number 6, or both. But you're a healer of the ages. This is not your first time. You have been here many, 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 many times. You've done this many times before. Just remember who you are. That's where your magic lies, in remembering who you are. 31, which is also 13 backwards, and also the number 4, door to value. Why are you letting your money fly out the door? Where is the love for you? And for some of you, I feel like, oh man, for some of you, I'm getting this vibe that you are living with somebody who maybe when stuff started, they were kind of like freaked out and depressed and whatever. And so they weren't working and money was coming in and it was fine. But like now money's not coming in. They're just lazy now. They don't even care what's going on. You're in a completely different hemisphere vibrationally and you're taking care of them. And Spirit's saying, why? Why are you doing that? It's not your job to take care of this person. It is their job to take care of themselves. It is their job to heal themselves. And I'm going to go into the 4 agreements for this one because they went straight right into that. Like it was like bam, boom, bam, 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 bam. Pile number 1, mountain lion. What do my mountain lions need to hear right now? 2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? I watched that movie Palms. Maybe you guys are supposed to see it too. I watched the movie Palms last night. It was so cute. We got it at the library, and it's with Diane Keaton, and it's about these women in a retirement home who start a palm squad. It's so cute. I mean, it's cliche and silly, but but it's lighthearted, warm for the family. If you want to do something like that. But maybe this is something, maybe you need to see the movie to like kind of spark you. Maybe you need a Palms club. Maybe you need some type of club, whether it's online or in person. Don't take anything personally. Everyone lives in their own dream. Yes, and so and this is a message extended to the last one I just said. Like, I'm getting whoever this person is who's like not pulling their weight, so to speak. Like, they live in a dream world, and they are not but they're not in a healthy dream world. I feel like they're like off in the clouds, and like you're trying to help them spiritually, and you're like, oh, they're gonna get it, they're gonna get it, they're gonna get it, and they're like, they're not though, and it's not because of you. It's like they will get it when they get it, but you're waiting around trying to help them see what they need to see. And they're saying, like, don't be so pushy, like, let them come to it on their own. On the back, it says, all peoples live in their own dream, in their own mind. They're in a completely different world from the one we live in. And that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. I can tell you that again from firsthand experience. That's absolutely true. Don't take anything personally again. Embrace your freedom. Look at that. And see how they're resting and they're like, oh, that's awesome. But they know they can fly. Like they got the one wing there. They're ready to go. On the back, it says you gain a huge amount of freedom when you take nothing personally. No spell can affect you regardless of how strong it may be. And if you live without fear, if you love, you will be happy with your life. And I honestly, this may be my pile, because this whole pile is like, so many things have been happening. And I had that yesterday with my partner where they just like said something and it just like really set me off. And I took it personally because I felt like it was personal. And then I had to explain to them and say, listen, I'm trying not to take this personally. I'm like, but I want you to be on my receiving end of how that whole thing just went down. And it was more for like I wasn't trying to be bossy. I was trying to say, like, I just want you to see it from my point of view because I'm extremely sensitive. You're not as sensitive as I am. And so I'm trying to get you to understand that. And then after I thought about it for a while, I was like, but the truth is, if I wasn't taking it personally, my sensitivity wouldn't matter. And so I know for me, like, this is something where I'm like, I'm working with. So I hope me sharing my struggle with that will help you connect the dots for yourself. And the last one is, don't make assumptions. Be yourself around others. And on the back it says, the biggest assumption that humans make is that everyone sees life the way we do. We assume that others think the way we think, feel the way we feel, judge the way we judge, and abuse the way we abuse. We are afraid to be ourselves around others because we think others will judge us, victimize us, abuse us, and blame us as we do ourselves. That's some powerful shit right there. And so we're going to end with this last bit of the mountain lion. If mountain lion has come to you in dreams, and they're saying for me to read this, so maybe it has for some of you guys. It is time to stand on your convictions and lead yourself where your heart takes you. Others may choose to follow, and the lessons will multiply. If you have pulled the card of mountain lion, you may be asked to review the purpose behind your personal beliefs. You may need to discover whether or not your plans include a pride of cubs wanting to be like you or to share in your dreams. If you are already a leader, the question may be whether or not the time has come to push the cubs out of the cave. If you are aligned with cat medicine, you are considered to be king of the mountain. And I mean, you did pull 2 cats, for crying out loud, and the cat of the cats, right? So if you are aligned with cat medicine, you're considered to be king of the mountain and never allowed to be human or vulnerable. The pitfalls are many, but the rewards are great. And that's bullshit, right? I said that today. I was just like, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, why is everybody so afraid to be vulnerable right now? It's like they feel like they need to be on the guard, and I feel like it's the opposite. It's like we've got our guardian angels in the sky. They're out there, It's interesting. I didn't know why Spirit had me string the lights over here this way, but lately I've been getting all these things from the lights and getting messages. Even that was like my window. I was going to shut it. They're like, no, leave it. I'm like, okay. But like, we are surrounded. Our planet is surrounded with light workers. Drink some water. With galactic, beautiful energies that are protecting us and guiding us. There is no fear, you guys. Honestly, there's no fear. Shit's gonna happen. Yes, shit's gonna happen. But it also has to do with attachment. So if you can let go, and again, working on this one myself, if we can let go of the attachment of the energy, it's the energy attachment. It's not a physical, it's not a mental, it's not emotional, it's an energy attachment. And so if we're allowing people's energy to affect us, I feel like Spirit was like, by Jove, I think she's got it. Because like I kind of did the whole, like full circle where I realized what they were trying to say is like, yeah, there's only so much we can do. And then we have to just really not take it personally. Or we completely pull ourselves out of that situation because we're like, I'm done with that lesson right now. I'm done with that karma. I'm done with that reach around, right? Like, I'm done with that. Like, I need to be in this space right now. And I cannot be in this space, or this is old energy, right? It's everywhere. So staying focused and taking it day by day. Don't plan ahead. Even if people are forcing you to plan ahead, be like, I'm not planning anything right now. I'm going day by day. That feels comfortable to me. Just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. Okay, we're almost done. In assuming the place of power that Mountain Lion affords, you must constantly be aware of keeping peace. However, you can never make everyone happy unless you lie to yourself or others. This is human nature. Therefore, the first responsibility of leadership is to tell the truth. Know it and live it, and your example will filter down to the tiniest cub in the pride. Responsibility is no more than the ability to respond to any situation. Panic is not a part of this sacred medicine. Oh, thank you, beautiful. Thank you, spirit animals, and all those who are here today. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here for Pile 1. Thank you, Pile 1, for stopping by. And if you'd like to donate to this channel, the information is below. And if you'd like to book a reading with me, that is below as well. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Ooh, that was awesome. Okay. On to pile number 2. In pile number 2, I'm going to have to give you 1 second because I have to go to the restroom. I'm like, hold on. Okay. Hi, you guys. I'm back. I know it's like so unprofessional and silly, but I don't know how to pause this on my Chromebook. It's like the weirdest thing. In fact, hold on. Oh my gosh. That's the upgrade. You know what? My Chromebook upgraded, and there is a pause button. I didn't even notice it until just now. I was like, that's crazy town. That's crazy town. Anyway, well, that's good. But I got a thing from Chromebook saying that they wanted to update my computer, and I guess people complained about that, and like there was something else. Anyway, they fixed it. So here we are. I'm gonna have a little dark chocolate. Let's just say, because I didn't pause it, and I don't have a fancy way to like edit it. It's almost at 50, so I'm gonna finish my chocolate. Spirit said, look at the song. The theme. Oh, me and Bobby McGee. So welcome, pile number 2. Me and Bobby McGee. Janis Joplin. This is from her Pearl album. You know, they called it a Pearl. So that's really powerful. And also, if you chose pile number 2, we have number 46, the blue heron. Is the animal that wants to help guide you through this release of shaking out whatever it is you need to shake out. It's interesting because I'm curious to know what me and Bobby McGee means for you. Oh, I just got the chills, like really hardcore. Also, they had me look up, and it's 1450. I do military time, which is also the number 10, and then 43% on my phone, which is number 7, and then it's 45 is the blue heron, is the number 9. I feel like they're trying to tell me something. 9, 10. Anyway, it'll come to me. So welcome, pile number 2, blue heron. Okay, let's get you going. I'm so like I can't believe I can pause this. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. You know, they call horses a nag, like an old nag. Don't nag me. I'm trying to read. I get the weirdest, funniest, fun things from people. Okay, blue heron, number 45. Okay, let me get that out of the way. Self-reflection. Let me ask Spirit, because I feel like that was that the one, was that upright? That's what I thought. Okay, so it was upright. And each one has their own word. And so yours is self-reflection, and then there's like a little poem. And it says, blue heron, thank you, sacred water bird, for sending reflections to me, the mirrors of the quest for life, the worlds that live inside of me. Show me how relationships work, with my path woven within the whole, the lessons of kinship with all life, reflecting my spirit's eternal soul. Heron medicine is the power of knowing the self by discovering its gifts and facing its challenges. It is the ability to accept all feelings and opinions without denying any emotion or thought. Heron flies over those who are unaware of who they are and where they belong in the world. Gently dropping a blue feather to them, Heron asks that they follow their intuition and begin the empowering journey of self-realization. If the great blue heron has flown into your cards today, it is urging you to dive into the watery world of feelings to seek your truth. Heron teaches you to develop your self-reflective skills so that you may come to know yourself in an intimate way. Looking at yourself through the filmy lens of self-importance, the cloudy perceptions of low self-worth, or the myopic eyes of self-pity, you will never understand your true potential or appreciate the opportunities that appear. Heron asks that you examine yourself with a cold eye to see what you wish to improve and how you want to change. If you get stuck in the process, it may be a sign that you're being too hard or critical. Choosing to blame others and constantly pointing a finger at life situations instead of claiming responsibility for your actions shows that you lack the courage to face the enemy within. Heron medicine people are willing to look at themselves and see the truth of their motives, actions, feelings, dreams, goals, inner strengths, and inner weaknesses. In balancing those truths, Heron's medicine shows you how to meet the challenges of your personal weaknesses and how to continue developing the skills that lead to inner strength and certainty of purpose. Are you willing to dive into the watery depths of your own feelings and discover the role of your spiritual essence? Heron is now calling you to delve deeper, to know yourself, and to trust your path. Like the phoenix who rises from its own ashes, Heron emerges from the unseen worlds of spirit into a new, balanced sense of self in order to embrace its potential again and again. The magnificence of your human spirit lies waiting for the joy of discovery, if you are courageous enough to follow the water bird throughout the journey. Heron reminds you that every traveler on life's journey is a messenger, and that every destination is the beginning of a new life cycle on the medicine wheel. Wow, drink some water. Wow. You guys, your throat chakra, I thought it was just a chocolate, but I'm like, no, it feels like somebody's trying to choke me. Now listen, when I initially started putting this together today, one of the first things I heard was depression. And I heard a lot of people, it's getting colder in here. It said a lot of people are suffering from depression right now. A lot of people. And a lot of people in our tribe are. And also some people who are suffering from depression, maybe they feel, and this is for you in this group, like maybe you feel like you are a really strong, spiritual, powerful person, but you know, you've just gotten so far down the rabbit hole that you just don't even know how to get out. That's the second rabbit reference we've had today. Let's hear what Spirit has to say around that. I'm getting a lot of information here, so let me see what Spirit has to say. Are there any other animals that would like to speak with the blue heron, would like to assist the blue heron on this journey for pile number 2? Any other spirit animals today in this pile want to speak with pile number 2? No? Okay. I'm hearing another card, so let's see. Do we want to pull from the energy deck? Oh, well, that makes sense, of course. You guys are having really low energy, right? So we're going to pull from the energy deck and see. I'm feeling a lot of sadness and anger. Like as an empath, like I'm feeling a lot of sadness, resentment, anger. When's it going to be my turn? You know, like that Little Mermaid moment. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun. Wandering free, wish I could be part of that world. That's what I'm hearing for you guys. Like for some of you, you have one foot in this world and one foot in the 3D world. And the balancing act is just not working for you. Hold on. Spirit's saying I'm not, here we go. Okay. Number 42, woman holding a coin. Okay. So I'm hearing also it's the energy. That's why for some of you that are frustrated and why you're like, why either you're not making money at all or you're making money, but it's like really like you're having to work like 10 times harder for it. There's a lot of things around this. Number one, for some of you that are working so much harder, it's because that's not the place for you and you know it. You know, like you can just as easily, like if you're somebody who loves numbers, you can just as easily be a CPA, you know, for a spiritual company as you could for like a Fortune 500 company run by a bunch of, you know, greedy, misogynistic people, you know, like that's just an example. That's not like a person. Because I realized I'm like, that's really similar to someone I know. And I hope you know if you ever watched this, it wasn't, and maybe it is for you. I don't know. But that was the analogy they gave me. And I was like, okay, I get it. You know, so it could be something like that, right? Like you just feel like a whore. Every time you go to work, you just feel dirty. And I totally understand that. I had a job like that and the money was so good. And, but I hated myself and I hated being a part of like that part of the world that was like hurting people. And I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I here? And I remember even saying to my husband at the time, like, I want to quit my job. And he's like, what? You know, because he was like, you make so much money. And blah, blah. I'm like, I hate it. I go, I feel like I'm selling my soul to the devil every time I go to work. So, you know, if you are feeling like that, then it's time to move on. And maybe it's time to start your own company. You know, you are the woman with the coin. And I find it really interesting, too. There's a black cat here. This is like, seriously. I feel like this card is for my friend right now. So if you watch this, you know who you are. I'm not going to call you out. And I'm like, dude, I feel like this is you in this card if you watch this. I almost want to send this to you because I feel like this is like so powerful right now. But yeah, but this is obviously for more than one person. This is like a multiple reading. So, you know, take from it what you need, leave behind what you don't. But there's something there with that. And so they're actually having me... read it, and it's also number 42, which could be an age for you because I just heard that, and also it's the number 6 when you add it together. And I almost feel like for the person or that's 42, I feel like, or you're getting close to 42 or something with 42, either you thought you would have been somewhere by the time you were 42 and you're older, or it feels like that you're like, oh my God, I'm 42 and I still haven't done anything or haven't, and they're like, they're saying like, stop being so focused on that because it literally means nothing. So it says, female connection in money, health, or value. The elegantly dressed woman on this card sits on a beautiful chair holding a bright gold coin. When the card comes upright in a woman's reading, it may refer to her directly and to a successful endeavor regarding her own finances or health. This card could also signal a woman of support or assistance regarding these issues. She may give you financial advice or connect you with someone who does. This woman may be someone you meet this woman may be someone you meet where you make your money, or it may be a woman of wealth and value. Either way, this card is telling you to be on the lookout for helpful assistance, or even the possibility of new love or friendship connected to a woman of wealth or business. Yeah, that's interesting, because I got that too. Like, it's almost like a representation of the divine feminine. So it could even be a man that's like, it's like more in like the feminine energy of like, being a giver. And so that's interesting. But also, I specifically saw a vision of a grandmother. Like, maybe you have a grandmother who has offered you money before, or like you're just really independent and you're like, I don't need any money, or I don't want any money, or whatever. It's like, I'm hearing for some of you, it's almost like a safety net or something, for you to feel better, to reach out to them, because I feel like they want to help you. Whoever this grandmother is, I'm curious. You know, say something below if this, even with the blue heron. I know it sounds interesting, but I feel like Spirit was saying that, like, almost like a wise, I feel like a wise old woman, whoever this is, or she's like a grandmother energy. She's somebody who really, really wants to take care of you and wants to help you. And they've been like not pushing too hard because you're really independent. You want to do things on your own, but I feel like whatever you want to do, whether it's to change your business and so you could be the queen of your own coin and leave this company so you can go do what you love, and, or put yourself on the market and say, hey, I do X, Y, and Z, but I want to work in this field, just putting yourself out there, putting yourself out into the world on social media or whatever. I've said this before already, but if you haven't joined now, please join. Steve Noble started a new social media outlet, and it's for starseeds. Now, of course, there's people on there. Everybody's at their own level of consciousness, but for the most part, people on there are on there to help each other and to support each other. And it's called thesoulmatrix.com is the website, and it's the Soul Matrix Social. And I think it's like social.soulmatrix.com or something. If you're curious, reach out and I'll send you the link below. But you never know who you're going to meet or what's going to happen. It could just be somebody that you meet that's like a grandmother or has like a grandmother like energy. But I'm hearing that really, 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 really strong, and from more than one person, because I'm seeing like, it's like I'm watching, it's like if there were like 10 TV screens, I'm seeing like, hello, thank you, male person, bless you. It's like I'm watching a bunch of different movies or TV shows at once, but they all kind of have like a woman figure that is very grandmother. But even like the blue heron, if you think of like the blue-haired lady, like when they think of like their elders, you pick this pile for a reason. And honestly, like I don't know if this is helpful to you guys, but I feel like this is your, what did you say? Oh, okay. Okay, and also, this is another, I love when things come in. So the peppermint wasn't just our awesome theme for the day, which I'm going to take a shot right now. Oh, this peppermint, real pure peppermint smells sweet. If it smells like gasoline, that's not good. Real true peppermint should be strong, but smell sweet. So listen to this. Remember in the blue heron card where it said at the end, let me find it. I know I saw it, so. Okay, so the magnificence of your human spirit lies waiting for the joy of discovery if you are courageous enough to follow the water bird throughout the journey. Heron reminds you that every traveler on life's journey is a messenger, and that every destination is the beginning of a new cycle on the medicine wheel. Okay, so the other card that you guys pulled was Carrying Connections, number 14, which is also the number 5. And 5 is all about change, transformation. The butterfly has been coming in a lot today. So I feel like whoever this person is going to really like help like bring you to the next one. It's interesting because that's why I want to sit with Spirit for a second, because when I see this card, obviously we see like that kind of connection, right? But it's more than that. It could be somebody who is like a love interest that wants to help you, and that's fine too. Maybe it's, like they said, like it's a partner or somebody who's a female energy in your life. But I don't feel like I don't feel like it's a romantic relationship, even though I kind of feel like there's like a heart right here. I don't feel like it is, but it could be. And if it is, I feel like it's a very small portion of you. So if it resonates, that's great. But you know how that is sometimes where it's like, I don't feel like this message is really for everybody. Hello, sweet bird. Oh my gosh. There's the cutest little nuthatch. I almost didn't even know it has blue on it. I didn't even know new nuthatches can have blue on them. Anyway, super cute little bird. So anyway, it's going to be through a connection. So kind of delve deep into there. Let's see if there's any more. We also have the Four Agreements deck. So I want to see if there's any more clarifiers in there for you guys. Spirit, pile number 2, the Blue Heron. Are there any other messages that you want to give them right now? Right now. Oh, be impeccable with your word. Express your love. So I got right out the gate from this one. Maybe some of you guys are having a little apprehension because you kind of were bad. Like, meaning like maybe you had a falling out with this person, or maybe it was, I'm not giving you a, see this sweet face, like this kind of like almost no expressionless face, like the top of the heart. It's kind of like that's spirit saying to you, like, just express your love. Like, you don't have to say you're sorry. You don't have to, you know, whatever. If you, I'm getting a lot of mixed messages. Hold on. Okay. For some of you, it is literally they said a big fat apology needs to be given to somebody. So maybe it's a grandmother or this like female energy that's in your life that's like a grandmother. And it could be that they're your mom, but they're a grandmother to like your nieces and nephews. So for some of you, yes, you are going to have to eat crow a little bit, but they're saying like to do it with love though. Don't do it with, even if they come at you like, and if they keep coming for you, just be like, I understand. I apologize. I didn't mean to hurt you or whatever. But like, take responsibility. Take responsibility. That's a huge message for somebody. On the back of this, it says, impeccability of the word can be measured by your level of self-love. If you love yourself, you will express that love in your interactions with others, and that action will produce a like reaction. Right? So, and most likely, this person, I feel like whoever you have to make amends with for in this group, I feel like it's somebody that like you can use your ways, but they're saying like, but don't be a snake charmer. You could be a charmer, don't be a snake charmer. And you know, snakes are wonderful, but we know when they say snake charmers, like a terminology for like that you're like, oh, you know, when really you're in it for you. You're doing it for something for you. They're saying like, don't go about it like that. Like, make peace with the situation first and make peace with yourself and love yourself before you go into this conversation, because this person is going to know that you're feeding them a bunch of malarkey. They're going to know it, and then they're going to be like, no, and then they're not going to trust you. Like, maybe you've borrowed money before, because like things have changed and the energy has shifted and changed. That doesn't mean everybody's going to change and shift with it. Okay, we're done there. So, do you hear what I'm saying? Let me make sure that there's any more. I feel like those are all your messages. Are there any more messages for pile number 2? Okay, nope. Those are your messages, pile number 2. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you'd like to book a reading or donate to this channel, all the information is below. I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh, okay. Let's see. Welcome, pile number 3. Okay, so I am very excited to do your pile because I took a break for a minute and I barely even like walked away and I started hearing it was like really like going off in my head, and then I was called to pull the cinnamon bark essential oil, which is interesting because, you know, peppermint is our theme for this reading, the peppermint oil, but it was the cinnamon bark that I was like, oh my gosh, and I just got this overwhelming, exciting feeling to read for you guys because you are pile number 51, the Jaguar, which it could also be the number 6 and the way you're looking, whatever way you're looking at it. But I was excited to pull this one because I just felt this like festive, fun, fairy, happy, just really like satiated in your soul, like just feeling very, very calm and grounded. So that's really rad. So let's see what the Jaguar has to say to you guys, because, you know, obviously, you know, you may be feeling that, but if you're here, then there's something that is like pulling you. It's like, what do you need to release? What do you need to shake it out, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off, you know, like that Taylor Swift song, like you know, because people gonna talk or whatever, people gonna hate. Oh, that one's specifically for you guys, because even though that was like the theme was like, you know, the new moon and it was released, and that it was like for you guys specifically, it's like I'm getting this kind of like, you know, like they're, you know, like listen to that song by Taylor Swift. I'll try and find the link below, but you know, she's like, shake it off. She's like, because haters are gonna hate and people are, you know, it's like, do you ever notice like, and you guys probably feel this, right? Because if you're in this group, that if you're feeling really good and you're feeling really positive, then you get some person who comes in and like just totally like pisses on your parade. And I hate to be so graphic, but you know what I mean? Where they're like, they're just angry and they're just like evil and they have nothing like good to say. So you're spreading love and sunshine, and so they want to like douse your flame, and I'm hearing, do not let them. That is their own shit and it is not yours, and you do not have to take it on, especially if it's family, because I feel really strongly that it's family. I feel a really strong dominant mother energy. So for some of you, like, ooh, you know, I should just always trust my gut when things open up the way they're supposed to. I just want to make sure. I feel like this came upright, but is it in our greatest highest good to read both today? Okay, just the upright position for this pile. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so the Jaguar, and every word or every animal has like words that kind of signify them. And yours is integrity and impeccability, which is interesting because if you follow me, you know that my word for 2020 was integrity. Because I was like, everybody is like really losing sight of things and like, you know, what's going on in the world. And so yours is integrity and impeccability. And the thing I get from you guys is that's what you run from, is integrity and impeccability. You're impeccable with your word. If you say it, you mean it. And this says, Sacred Jaguar, teach me to wear my power lightly, to walk with impeccability, to approach life with compassion, and to live up to the integrity of my human potential. Ooh, I'm going to wear my glasses. Oh, I was going to say that I leave them in there, but I didn't. They're right here. Okay. Since the death of Sky God, the godlike being who had come from the stars and led the Maya to prosperity and a golden era of spiritual understanding, his teachings of love, integrity, impeccability, and the power of a compassionate heart had been perverted. The distortion of his Jaguar teachings had degenerated to where the priests were sacrificing human beings, foolishly cutting out the victims' hearts to reclaim the power of the golden days of the empire. That's powerful right now. Forgotten was the authentic power of the honorable and loving heart in Sky God's teachings, right? So they're taking the wrath instead of the love. The great Jaguar spirit, and that's for ego and power, right? Oh, if I do this for you, look, I'm going to sacrifice this person for you, like I will kill for you. It's like, I've never understood that. What deity or God that we're supposed to believe in would want us to kill each other to prove how much we cared about another, or cared about our creator? I mean, I just, that's why I always say our benevolent creator. I don't look at it as female. I know there's divine feminine and masculine. I feel that more from the God and goddess energy. But I feel like the creator itself doesn't have a sex. I feel like it branched off and like became like the feminine and the masculine. Like it realized it had both parts and then created, you know, these archetypes through them. And so I feel like with you guys, you know, it's like there is like this death, right? This death of ego. That maybe that's your last little bit for some of you, because I do feel like a really good high vibration from this pile, but I also feel like for some of you, maybe it's just that little bit of the ego that you need to let go of. So it says, the great Jaguar spirit, who was Sky God's totem, roamed the dreams of the Mayan people, looking for any dishonorable behavior. Misdeeds and abuses of power had diminished the spirit of the Maya and needed to be sacrificed for the survival of the people. The priests who had abused the authority and power bestowed on them quaked in fear, knowing that the day of reckoning had come. And look what's happening right now. Same shit, different fucking day. You know what I mean? Like, same stuff, different chapter in the book. Very, very, very interesting. So this says, Jaguar brought justice by stalking their dreams and devouring their flagrantly dishonorable and greedy misdeeds. Jaguar medicine is integrity and impeccability. Its mission is to devour the unclean aspects of human behavior. Jaguar teaches us the penalties of inappropriate behavior and offers the rewards of good medicine to those who stand in their personal integrity and walk through life in an impeccable manner. If Jaguar is roaming your dream reality today, its primal roar may be rewarding you for maintaining your integrity in some situation where you could have easily misused your authority. You may have been unwilling to pass judgment on another or to be self-serving. Were you especially kind to someone, or did you do a good deed that was unexpected? Yay! If so, allow the recognition to fill you with feelings of well-being and to continue to serve with compassion and open-hearted integrity. Do not falter in your resolve to be your personal best at all times. Maintain your dignity, devotion, and compassion, holding to forthrightness and honesty no matter what the contrary influences. Do not feed any self-important need to be an enlightened one. That's where the ego is, right? So like maybe you're this person that's like kind of keeping on a high vibration for everybody, but there's little moments where you're like, well, I'm being really good, and they're, you know, that's just where they are, or whatever. But there's like a little part of you that's like this, like, look at me, I'm doing really good, right? That's cool, and it's cool to be happy for yourself, right, and have those moments. But it's easy, it's a slippery slope to fall into the ego too, and think that you're better or more powerful or whatever. None of us are. We're just here doing different parts of our job. But you know what? In this life, it's like you may be a king or a queen, but maybe in your last life you scrubbed toilets. You know, so does that make your soul or your spirit any better or any higher? You know what I mean? It's like, it's all in the way you look at it, you know? I have a friend who loves to clean. That's what she loves it. She does it for a living. I actually have a few friends who do it for a living, really enjoy it. And so, you know, it's like, why does somebody look down on somebody because of a job that we were told to, you see where I'm going with this? That it's supposed to be one way or the other. So when you're, you know, any misusings, I feel like is maybe it's something like that. So I'm just hearing like, if you're looking for something like what it is, it's like, clean it up. Only you know. But let's get some clarifiers on that, because I felt like that was very straightforward. Not simple so much, but just really straightforward. So for pile number 3 for this Jaguar medicine, and it's so powerful. I want you to look at it again, because this is kind of how I saw it before too. And it's interesting. I've been reading these cards for almost 2 years, and it's interesting how each time the animal looks different. And earlier today, you may have noticed that I was like, oh, look at pile 1 was the mountain lion. I'm like, it was like almost like a hissing. And then like this one, it was like, it looked like more of like very strong in who they were. Like if this one was hissing, I felt like this one was kind of like, and there's nothing against this one. We went through the medicine. It's all beautiful. It's perfect where they're at. But I'm saying like, in terms of this, I saw it like the 2 wild cats. Like, what does that mean? And it's like, when I saw it, I kind of felt like this was like the yin and yang of the energy. So like, I feel like you guys are good. Like you're solid, you're grounded, you know, don't lose sight of that. And, you know, whenever we get sometimes a little bit of a tongue lashing from spirit, it's not really like a tongue lashing. It's more of like you're doing a really good job, you know, but we're not perfect. We're always going to be growing and learning from ourselves and each other. So let's see. Are there any clarifiers for that card for spirit? Oh, woman holding a coin, number 42. This came up for another pile. Really, really powerful. So are you lording something over somebody, or is somebody lording something over you? You know, because we also have to be impeccable with our word in terms of like, you know, how we're putting things out into the world. I also got this vibe that maybe some of you you're taking more than you're giving. That's basically what I'm getting from this. Like the balance is off. Obviously this is a mass, you know, and I read this for the other pile, but I'll read it for you guys too because it came through so strongly. Just so we'll see if you get anything from it. And there was a lot of clarity in the other one, but this one I'm not, so I'm going to see what comes through. So this is connecting, it says female connection in money, health, or value. The elegantly dressed woman on this card sits in a beautiful chair holding a bright gold coin. When the card comes upright in a woman's reading, it may refer to her directly and to a successful endeavor regarding her own finances or health. It also signifies a woman of support or assistance regarding these issues. She may give you financial advice or connect you with someone who does. This woman may be someone you meet where you make your money, or it may be a woman of wealth and value. Either way, this card is telling you to be on the lookout for helpful assistance or even the possibility of new love or friendship connected to a woman or wealth or business. So I do feel like, yeah, it's like, you know, like really take a minute to look at this card. You know, what does it mean for you? I also think it's interesting that they specifically used Asian currency. And even though I've seen that so many times, I feel like that's being drawn to it. So it could be something of that nature. They had me use that terminology. Like, so it could be, and you know, Asia is a really big place. There are multiple countries in Asia. So it could even be like maybe there's somebody abroad or somebody far away. I just feel like there's like almost like an ancient to this. And like in the last one it was like a grandmother energy. This one is like totally, totally different. So whatever that means for you guys. Let's see, can we get a clarifier? Are there any other animal cards? No? Okay. Any more clarifiers on that one? I'm getting the chills. So are there any more clarifiers on this card? Okay, they both flew out at the same time. Okay, journey. Ooh, what did I just say? I'm like, I felt like it was like, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, maybe this is like, for some of you guys, like it's a job change. And it's like, you're going to go somewhere. That's why I said I felt like it was like Asia. You know, maybe for some of you, it's time for you to, maybe it's home. Maybe Asia is home for you. It's time for you to go home. India. You know, it's like Asia seriously is such a big, beautiful place. So, you know, we have people in our tribe from all over the world. So it could just be where you live, you know, and maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you're journeying out from Asia to somewhere else. Europe, England, because I'm hearing England, I'm hearing Europe, I'm hearing Asia. Those, well, England's in Europe, but you hear what I'm saying. Like, specifically, those are the two things I'm hearing when I heard journey. It's very, very specific, and so it's only going to really apply to maybe a few of you. But it's number 2, the journey. And I feel like, see how she's solo by herself? I feel like maybe you're going to journey there, but then you're going to meet, you're going to either meet a second person there, or you're going there to meet a person so that you're going to start working with them, or they're going to help you out. Maybe you're like really struggling here and you've got like a family member like overseas, whichever way, right? Like whether you're in the States and going there, or there and coming to the States, but there's something there for you guys that's really, really powerful, and it's coming through really strong. Ooh, and number 10, and it was in reverse, storm warning. It was upside down. I'm going to read this one because 10s are about completion too. I felt like I saw some cards fly out. Okay, so let's see what number 10 says. Ooh, and then my book opened to deceit. And even though we didn't pull that card yet, or maybe we will, maybe we won't, but they wanted me to say to be really careful though, be really mindful of who you're telling too, because there's a lot of people that aren't necessarily looking for your greatest and highest good. Also, as I was going to 10, this came up, and it's number 11, cornucopia, like wishes fulfilled. So I think it's interesting that we've got like money and wealth and wishes fulfilled and journey. There's something with this as well. I don't always get that, but when I do, I make sure I put that out there because, again, it's a mass reading for a lot of people. So storm warning, clouds on the horizon, but it was in reverse. So it says, this card reverse indicates that the dark times are behind you. Yay, that's awesome. Or at least beginning to fall away. You can take heart that sunny skies and better times are on the horizon. This new light may bring a time of reassessment and redirection for you. Let yourself consider where you want to go next. Also, spend some time reflecting on the difficulty that has passed. What was the lesson for you? Whether it's about self-love or empowerment, remember to bring these intentions and the lessons learned into your bright new path. So wherever you're going on your journey, you know, it's like gray skies, it's like this, it's like, oh, but it's like gray skies are gonna clear up, put on a happy face. And it's like, now it's like, it's in the distance, it's far away. But also, I feel like this is like water. And I feel like this is, like I'm saying, like you have to go across the pond. You know, they say in England, or if you're going from like the States, like the East Coast to Great Britain area, they would say, oh, you're just going across the pond, but it's the ocean, but they say going across the pond. I think that's why they say it. Anyway, I'm sorry if it's not, but you get what I'm saying. So I definitely feel like this journey is across water, like, and it's, you know, I mean, it could even be as simple as like you're going from, you know, across the Mississippi, you know, in the United States, but there's something there. Okay, and now they have an affirmation, and it says, I have the power to overcome any obstacle, no matter what is going on. I can be strong, confident, and self-directed. So if you want to take a screenshot of that. But yeah, pile number 3, I feel like you guys, it's like, I whatever you're looking for, like, I don't feel like it's super heavy. Or I should say, whatever you came here for, I feel like you already kind of know that you're doing okay. Oh, look at, they just like, it's like my fingers are stuck to it. But they're like, you're the one that's giving yourself anxiety. Number 18, which is also the number 9. You're the one that's giving yourself anxiety. And they're saying, it's stop the emotional cutting or the cutting. Like, stop the anxiety because victory is on the horizon, baby. And it's also 8 and 2 is 10. number 10, and we just had 10 on the storm warning. So you guys are good. You guys are good. Just stay in your lane, keep what you're doing. And when you catch yourself kind of falling in a negative, you know, we all have pitfalls. All of us. My gosh, I still have fights with my partner where I'm like, oh my god, like I can't even believe that came out of my mouth. Like I feel like the worst person in the world. I'm like, I can't believe I just said that to them. I can't believe, you know. And then I'm like, I'm so sorry. And then I'm like, am I that abusive person that just keeps saying that they're sorry but they're not changing? And I was like, you know, it's like I started to realize, I'm like, yeah, I have to like really like get it together. So it's okay. We're not perfect. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep. Look at that journey again. So that means that we don't need to pull any more cards, but get ready because something's coming for you guys, and it's coming good within the next 30 days. So jump at that chance when it comes for you, okay? So I hope this helped you in any way. I love you. I love you. I love you. If you'd like to book a reading or if you'd like to donate to this channel, all the information is below, and I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Aho, and have a nice new moon. Solar eclipse. Wah! Okay. Hey, pile number 4, welcome to your reading. And if you are here today, you chose the fox, which is also number 25, which is also the number 7. And each one had a musical theme, and yours was from the Carpenters, and it was actually the medley, which is an interesting one. Because I mean, I've seen this a gazillion times, but I don't know if I've ever saw this, where it's like the medley of Superstar. Don't you remember you told me you love me, baby? No, wait. Said you could love me. I think that's it. But anyway, but it's Superstar and Rainy Days and Mondays always get me down. But if you even look, like, you can see like Karen Carpenter, sorry about the glare, but like she's looking all kind of like sad and down. And then the title of the album is As Time Goes By. So that's what I feel like they wanted me to read all that to you guys, but like the message I got was As Time Goes By. So when I see that, I feel like some of you, maybe you're like reminiscing of like something that used to be. Let's go in and talk to the fox and see what they have to say. I don't remember if it was upright or not. Was the fox upright? Okay. Was the fox in reverse? Was the fox in reverse? Well, do you want me to read both is what I'm asking. I'm sorry. Reversed first. Okay, dokie. So reverse first. Number 25, the fox. Oh, it opened up almost to it. Look at that. That's one I've been working with, or have worked with before, clearly, when I do a little earmark there. Camouflage. Okay. Fox, where are you? Under the ferns, becoming the forest so I can learn? Are you watching and visible to me, trying to teach me to become a tree? So let's read the reverse first. It says, watch out for wily fox if this card has appeared reversed. Someone may be watching you and trying to figure out your next move. If you look deeper, however, it may be that you are watching yourself to prove to yourself that you exist. If you have become a wallflower to the point of disappearing, you may need to decide what you are worth noticing. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, she's like in the background, like, you know, kind of just hanging out there. Let me see if I can make the screen darker, then maybe it won't be so bright. I can see it better. You see how melancholy she is? Like, this is how I feel like your pile is, which is really interesting because when you think of a fox, like, you know, they're, like they said, the wily fox, right? Like, but I feel like this is you guys. Like, you're kind of like, I'm feeling like this lackluster energy, like, as time goes by, almost like you're just like sitting there, like, waiting for something, like, time's just like going on around you, and you're just like trying to, it's almost as if I feel like you guys are holding your breath, and you're just like, well, maybe if I just stay right here, like Lila says, just stay in my lane, but there's a difference of staying in your lane and, you know, and like, you know, going about your business. But then there's like point, you know, have you ever seen that meme where they show Homer Simpson and the hedge and then like he like backs up into the hedge and disappears? It's like, that's kind of how I feel like you guys are right now. Like, you've almost like disappeared completely from your life. Like, you're using like this energy. Like, I feel like you're almost like using like the holiday energy to deflect like what's actually happening with you. So let's dig in a little deeper with that, okay? Contrary fox is as foolish as it is cunning, and you may have fooled yourself into believing that your low self-esteem is due to your being born plain or having an ordinary life. This is camouflage of a different sort, and that you have camouflaged your true desire to experience life with friends, with joy, and with purpose. In any case, you are put on notice to be aware of apathy and self-induced boredom. You may have to dig deeply to find what excites you enough to scurry across the wasteland of your dulled senses and live. Contrary fox may be telling you that you have become too visible. Contrary fox may also be telling you that you're becoming too visible, right? Because this is a mass reading for multiple people, so it's like take what you need, leave behind what you don't. In climbing to a place of recognition, oftentimes the envy or jealousness of others is thrown in your face. If you are feeling attacked, withdraw. It may be time to assume the attitude of the hermit and deck yourself in the cloak of invisibility. To write contrary fox in this situation, call on armadillo and name your boundaries. Then call on the family's protector to show you the art of camouflage. Once out of the line of attack, you can resume the role of being your foxy self. Become a fox and feel the joy of knowing the playground of your life. You may just find the chicken coop full of intriguing morsels of delight. Now, this is going to be an interesting analogy, but I mean, the fact that Spirit's bringing it to me is comical to me. But anyway, Tiffany was a huge artist, pop star when I was a teenager in the 80s. And recently she has put out a Christmas album. And I was like, oh, good for her. I'm like, I always loved her voice. And I was like, oh, I was excited, to hear it. What really kind of like threw me for a loop though was the cover photo of her album. I was like, she's like my age, I believe in her late 40s, early 50s. Now, mind you, I want everyone to be themselves, right? Like, let your freak flag fly, be whoever you are. However, there are some times where I feel like, you don't have to put everything out there. It's like kind of less is more. And so I was so excited, and I like saw it, and I'm like, I don't know why, but it took me back. And Ed's like, what? He like saw my face in it because I'm like, oh, remember that singer? I'm like, I want to see what her let's play some of her Christmas music. And then he's like, well, why are you looking like that? And I go, because her boobs are like, it was just like in my face. Like, I didn't see her face. I did, like, as a wardrobe stylist I'll always be a stylist, right? Even though I used to do it for a living as a profession, it's like, and I do this now, it's like, I'll always be that, and I can't help it, right? In terms of like, I see the person as their best version of themselves. And so why I was a little taken aback from it was, I'm not saying that she shouldn't put her breasts out. It's not an age thing. It's just, I felt like it wouldn't matter how old she was. It was just, it's like, okay, we get it that you have large breasts, but I just feel like even if she feels sexy, it's like, but I don't know, I just got this like vibe that she was trying too hard. You know what I mean? And I feel like maybe, is that you? Like, are you trying too hard to be something you're not? Or are you putting something out there of yourself that's like maybe that is who she really is, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, would you want that imagery for your, like, are you going to look back? I personally, and maybe somebody thinks I'm judging her, but I'm not. I personally felt instantly that she's going to regret that cover someday. Like, I instantly felt that. And maybe like in the moment, or maybe like right now she's feeling saucy or whatever, but I think someday she'll be like, why did I choose that shirt? Or like, why did I wear that outfit? And maybe not. Maybe some people would say that I'm being a one way or the other, but I just felt like she's such a beautiful person inside and out, and she's a beautiful, like the picture, but I'm like, I didn't really see her face. All I saw was her tits. I'm sorry, but I was just like, it was like, you cannot not see it. It's like, that's the first thing you see. And I just feel like, is that what you really want people to see? Or do you want people to see that you have substance, that you have this beautiful voice, and that you wrote these, beautiful songs, and you know what I mean? Like, that to me is like, isn't that the message? I feel like, unfortunately, like where we are in the world, and even no matter where we are in the world, like in terms of like whether this was right now in 2020 or if this was 500 years ago, it's like we look at these movies where they show like, oh, the women's breasts were really like out front. It's like, well, no wonder why, a lot of women, were raped or like whatever. It's like, if you're putting so much out there, I'm not saying that that's why they were raped. And again, I'm a rape victim myself. But you see what I'm saying? It's like, so maybe that's what they're trying to say to you guys, because that's like that they're like really like driving that home. So maybe for some of you, it's like they're just like, pull it back a little bit. You could still be you without like, and staying in fashion. Coco Chanel used to say, when you're going out, before you leave, look at yourself in the mirror and take one thing off. because most people, put on a lot. Like I had this one friend where every time I saw her, actually I have quite a few friends like this, and that's fine, and that's who they are. But sometimes I'm like, did you put on every piece of jewelry you own before you left the house? Like it's like every finger and it's like 5 necklaces, and I'm just like, whoa, like it's like, are you like, what is the purpose? Are you like, what are you missing? And I feel like when it's something like that, is it something internal? What are you not seeing that's on the inside? Like what's at the root of what's happening? Like why, and that's only for that side of it, right? Because there's 2 sides of it. So I'm gonna keep going. It may come back up. To write contrary fox in this situation, we did that. So become fox and feel the joy of knowing the playground of your life. You may just find the chicken coop full of intriguing morsels of delight. Okay, so we already read that, but okay, so let's see. Are there any other spirit animals that want to speak to you as well as the fox? Ooh, Raven, but she was in reverse, and I heard it feels like a really strong feminine energy, which is interesting because a lot of times when I see ravens, I feel masculine energy, but this feels very feminine. 16, which is also the number 7. So the fox is 25, which is the number 7. So look up look up angel number 7, because clearly they're speaking to you. And let's see what the raven has to say in reverse. And the raven's word is magic. Raven, black as pitch, mystical as the moon, speak to me of magic, I will fly with you soon. Raven reversed is not to be taken lightly. It can mean that the boomerang is coming home. If you have wished harm to another, beware. You have asked for this harm to teach you in turn what it feels like. Karma's a bitch. And she comes a-knockin'. If you have not been wishing evil on another, contrary raven may be bringing you a warning that you are not equipped to move into another level of consciousness until you have mastered the one you are currently working with. Yeah, like I saw that too. Like before I read that, I saw you like getting ahead of yourself. On yet another level, Raven may be telling you that you have forgotten the magic of life and have settled into a mundane rut, right? Like living too much in the 3D, and like it's like the 5D is there. If you're living in the 3D, it's because you're giving the 3D energy instead of giving the 5D energy. Instead of living in the magic, in the Raven's magic, look at that feather, I have a feeling if you just saw a feather recently, or you're going to be walking and a feather's going to come in your path, and I feel like it's going to be a black one from a crow or a raven. Interesting. Throat chakra. If this rut suits you and you do not want to experience the extraordinary magic in your life, ask Raven to fly through your dreams and give you a taste of its medicine. If you do, you may never be the same again. Contrary raven may also portend a time of smoky, confused messages that you cannot see or hear because your intellect is insisting that magic is not real. If you cannot imagine or pretend due to lack of faith in magic or miracles, healing cannot take place, right? Raven may be pecking at the door to your consciousness, but you will not receive this unless you clear the smoke and seek the other realms of imagination and awareness where magic lives. I'm seeing somebody coloring. So coloring, painting, maybe you're somebody who like thrives. I'm seeing bright colors. Maybe you need to wear more light color. Black is really great for protection. When people are like, oh, they wear all black, I'm like, well, good for them. Who cares? But for you, for this message, if this like resonated with you, you need more color in your life. So that's either like putting it like on paper or on a canvas and putting it in front of you to make you feel better, or it's wearing, bits of color here and there, or a little bit of sparkle, bringing the magic back. To write the contrary raven, you may need to seek a trained shaman to clear the energy field you have created. You might need to block some negative energy sent by another person or cancel the harm you wished on someone else. Keep it clean. This is the message when the magic moves into smoky shadow. Seek healing and a clearing of intention, then reach for the stars and honor Mother Earth and all other living things. Fill yourself with the magic of being alive and call Raven to teach you the proper way of using energy. Ground that energy so that manifestation of the magic can occur. Do this in love and simplicity. Raven will teach you this magical truth. Never go beyond that which you have prepared and trained for. Life is good, so use the magic to aid the entire family of Earth. Yeah, right? Like, I've told you guys this a gazillion times, right? It's like you don't go here to here. You have to like go through all of the channels to get to here. And some of you, I've been working with you off and on for years, and I've said this too. It's like if you're like, I'm so frustrated, it's like, well, yeah, but it's because you're still not like finding what you're looking. And it's funny because I feel like the fox is looking like, I'm so bored. I'm so bored. I'm so done with this. Like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Also, I'm feeling a lot of ocean energy. So for some of you who live by the ocean, you need to go to the ocean and meditate by the water. I bet you'll find your feather there too, your black feather. So, go meditate. And even if you don't live by an ocean, go by water. Go by a body of water and meditate. I always try to, moving water is the best. I feel like lakes are very stagnant and the energy is not the same. So I would go by like a creek or a river or the ocean, something that's like constantly, like in motion, so that you can kind of like, release that energy and, shake it out, shake it out, shake it off. That was the theme of our reading. Yeah, wow, that's like really intense. You guys got a lot of stuff going on. Let's see if there's any more cards. Let me see if there's any more energy cards. Do we have any more clarifiers? My right hand is scratching, which usually, they in some belief systems, left is your intake hand. So if your left hand's itching, usually you're coming into money. If your right hand is itching, it means that like you need to put out the money. So maybe for some of you, it's that, you're not moving up, you're not leveling up because you're not realizing like that you need to work with other healers, right? Like maybe you're a shaman yourself, but even as shamans, like I still seek counsel from others, right? Like I don't know all, and it's easy to cloud our own judgment for ourselves, right? And especially if we're like, I'm fine, I'm good here. I had this really horrible fight with my partner yesterday about something, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I can't fight about this one more time, or I can't argue about this one more time. And then after we like kind of went to our corners, I said, this is when we need to start looking at the root of it, so we don't keep going to that source. We need to pull it from the roots. If we just keep, cutting off the it's like if you're gardening, right? If you pull the weed from the source and you pull it from the root, then your flowers and everything won't be able to grow. Weeds have a purpose, right? We do need weeds to like come in and take over things, and everything serves a purpose on this planet. But sometimes things happen and the spores fly through the air or whatever, and then you've got weeds growing in with your beautiful flowers, but they're choking the roots of your flowers, right? Because they're a parasitic kind of plant, right? Because they're taking over. So it's like this could be a metaphor for you, or how you feel like you're whatever this source is that's like taking over you. But until you pull that from the root and you just trim it from the top, it's going to keep growing. You can even trim it at the very, very bottom, but it's going to keep growing. And even sometimes you can pull something from the root, but if you bring it back, if you're bringing the energy back in because you miss it, because we were talking about this yesterday, where sometimes it sounds sadistic and masochistic, but sometimes we miss the pain. We get so used to feeling pain and suffering that when we feel good and we feel happy, we don't really understand what that feels like, because we've been in so much pain and suffering for so many years. We don't even understand, and it's a conditioning. And for your homework, watch the movie Room, Room. It's called Room. It was out in the last like probably 5 years, and just watch it. And I think you'll get like a really true perspective of like what I'm talking about, right? Because it's all about perception, and it's all about programming, and like what somebody tells us or what, and then then you have to like relearn. Like once you get out of that situation, then you have to relearn, right? And it's hard to heal where we were hurt. So call on Archangel Ariel, which is our second chakra, number 36. So work with, and our second chakra is our solar plexus. So work with your solar plexus in this energy. It's also the number 36. So angel number 36, you can also look up angel number 9 and call upon Archangel Ariel, and I'll let that be your homework as well, to research this angel and to work with them during this transmission. Ooh, speaking of Steve Noble, I think he has an Ariel transmission. So look up Steve Noble on YouTube, and then look up under his playlist, under transmissions, look for the Ariel. It's either a transmission or a meditation, but I know, and I want to say he's posted it in like the last like few weeks or month or something. And maybe I may be thinking Azazel, but I know there's one of that one too. Okay, so there's that, and then the last one is attachment, number 5. Yep, like I said, like you're attached to this feeling. It's like you're attached to the pain, and you don't want anyone to tell you what to do, but Spirit's like, Yeah, but it's like, but you're the one that's causing the pain because you're attaching yourself to this old world order, to this old, like, and I feel like some of you are like people who've been trying to break free from this forever, but yet, like, you're willingly giving your power away to people, things, situations, the 3D energy, and Spirit saying, step up, step up, step up. Remember your magic. Remember your magic. You know, let your freak flag fly. Like, I literally heard them say, like, let your freak flag fly. Like, be who you are. Let's see. Are there any other messages from any other animals for this pile? No? Okay. And let's see. We also were pulling some messages from the Four Agreements deck. Let's see if there's any messages. Any messages for the fox pile number 4, Spirit? Do we have any messages for the fox? Ooh, they're like pushing this out of my hand. Don't take anything personally. Ignore the opinions of others. Yes, there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to, like, they're not going to feed into what you're selling, right? And that's okay. This is about you anyway. Who cares? On the back of this, it says, whatever people do, feel, think, or say, don't take it personally. Others are going to have their own opinion according to their own belief system. So whatever they think about you is not about you, but it's about them. And it is. It's about them. And have you ever heard that that term, whatever somebody thinks about me is none of my business? This one says, be impeccable with your word. Cultivate faith. Yes, because you've lost it. It's like you're in this stagnant. It's like, what got you revved up in the first place? Like, what got you really, like, into spirit? If you're on this channel, you're obviously a starseed, right? You're obviously a healer. You have a purpose here to help humanity. But what can you do to, like, step out of, like, you know, how can you rise above and see everything, like, see your life and everyone else from a loving place? Like, you know, say you're not living in a human form right now. Like, if you were in just angelic form, because I feel like a lot of you are angels or archangels. And so when you're in that form, it's like you've gotten so twisted into this, like, room mentality where you're like, you feel like you're stuck in this one little world in this room, and they're like, there's such a great big world, there's such a great big universe out there, and they're like, when did you, like, lose it? Like, you know, like, getting to the core of it. A lot of you, it's childhood trauma. Most of the time it is. This one says, to have great faith is to have great power because your intent okay, to have great faith is to have great power because your intent. These, I can't, it's my glasses. I need glasses for this. To have great faith is to have great power because your intent, your will, is undivided. When your word isn't dissipated by doubt, the power of your word becomes even stronger. So you have to cultivate your own faith. Stop looking outside of other people to get the answers. Like, you're the only one. Look at that. Your word is the power that you have to create. It is a gift that comes directly from God, Goddess, whatever you resonate with. And it says, be impeccable with your word. Realize the power of your word and the words you're saying to yourself. You know? What are you saying to yourself, sweet little fox? What are you saying to yourself? Any more messages from anybody? Oh, look at that. The raven again. Magic, 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 magic. It's like the bird is saying over and over in my head. You're magic, 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 magic. You're magic. Stop dulling your flame. You're not in this 3D energy. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. And for some of you, you're like, oh, well, I've been doing this for years or whatever, but there's something inside of you that's bringing you back to somewhere else, and Spirit's saying, no, no, no more. In fact, my sweet little friend wanted to come in here. I got to see where I put them. Where are you, sweet friend? There you are. I have had this for years. It used to be in, it had like a light thing under it, and it would, like, the heat would keep the glitter going. So I feel like Spirit's like, you know, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is either if you can afford, and look at this snowman's like, hey, what's up? Hi, how you doing? Hi. I knew this was for somebody. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to go and get something for yourself that makes you smile, that makes you happy, that inspires your magic. Or go through something, like go through your room or go through somewhere. If you don't have money, go through your stuff. I bet you have, like, coloring books or something that's going to, like, inspire you again. Go get glitter, play, just be playful, because you're just too damn serious. And Spirit's like, lighten up, be like the fox. Be like the wily fox. The fox actually has a great sense of humor. And I'm not going to, move any further with the fox because I feel like they want me to. Let me just see. Is there any more messages for pile number 4? Nope. That's it. You got it. You got this. You got this. And you are loved. Don't forget how much you are loved, okay? I love you. Have a blessed day. I'll see you next time. If you'd like to book an appointment or if you would like to donate to this channel, all the information is below. And one more message. Be impeccable with your word. Create a beautiful dream. Your word can create the most beautiful dream, or your word can destroy everything around you. Impeccability of the word only creates beauty, love, and heaven on earth. You got this. I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh, okay. Welcome, pile number 5. If you chose pile number 5, you chose the squirrel, which is also the number 26, which is also the number 8. And the song that accompanied you was Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Ain't no valley low enough. I was like, this is like, you guys, I felt really inspired. That was like pile number 3 too. Like, it's like, there's just a lot of like, I feel like you guys are like, I got this. All right, but what do I still need? So what you need to shake it off and your release, we're going to get the messages from the squirrel. The squirrel is in upright position. So we are going to read the squirrel in the upright. Okay. Do we want to do both upright and reversed for the squirrel? Okay. Okay. Because this is a mass reading, and so, take from it what you need, leave behind what you don't, but each person is going through their own thing. So, okay. So each animal has a word that symbolizes them and a little poem. For you, the number 26 squirrel is gathering. Squirrel, you have gathered nuts by the score, exactly predicting if you'll need more. Teach me to take no more than I need, trusting great mystery to harvest the seed. Squirrel teaches you to plan ahead for the winter when the trees are bare and the nuts have long since disappeared. Squirrel medicine can come in many forms, as this furry creature is very diverse in nature. The erratic behavior of squirrel has bested many a forlorn hunter, and it thus stands to reason that there are benefits to being able to circle a branch at lightning speed. This erratic behavior of squirrel can also get nerve-wracking if you are dealing with persons who have squirrel medicine. Trying to calm them down enough to accomplish something may drive you nuts. The gathering power of squirrel medicine is a great gift. It teaches you how to gather and store your energy for times of need. It teaches you to reserve something for future use, whether it be a judgment, an opinion, a savings account, candles, or extra food. To put it in a nutshell, squirrel is the Boy Scout of the animal kingdom, always prepared, or Girl Scout. In today's world of changing times and fortunes, it is the wise person who prepares for the future. Our prophecies have all spoken of the end of the millennium and the changes to come. This is an old deck, by the way. Just an FYI. So I was like, holy crap, like I haven't read this in a while. And of course I understand like the squirrel, like, the analogy and all that of the spirit animal, but that's really interesting because I was thinking the same thing. Anyway, I'll keep going. Whew. Squirrel is a friendly medicine to have in light of possible future rainy days. Its message is to be prepared, but not to go nuts with it. Love yourself enough to gather the goods that will meet your needs in times of scarcity, even if that time never comes. If squirrel has scurried into your cards today, it may be that you are being told to honor your future by readying yourself for change. The message could be to lighten your load if you have gathered too many things that do not serve you. These things can include thoughts, worries, pressures, stresses, gadgets that have been broken for years. In understanding the balance involved in gathering, you need to look at the idea of circulating the stock of what you have gathered. Call the nearest thrift store and give the gadgets to someone who can benefit from them. If something no longer grows corn for you, then it is time to let it go. Squirrel has another lesson which can aid you if you observe what is obvious and which can prepare you for anything. It has to do with the safe place in which to put your gatherings. This safe place is an untroubled heart and mind, and that which is gathered to put in this place is wisdom and caring. The energies gathered will set your mind and heart free so that you will know that all will be taken care of in its own time. Apply this to your fears about the future and they will vanish, right? So that's what I feel from you guys. Like, I feel a really good, lighthearted energy. Like, I can do this. Like, you just tell me what to do. Like, I feel like you guys are like my controlling pile, right? Like, I can do this. You just tell me what I need to do. But Spirit's saying, like, you don't have to get crazy, right? Like, you know, maybe normally you buy a 4-pack of toilet paper because you're near stores all the time. So now maybe buy a 12-pack instead. That doesn't mean buy like 36-pack, right? Like, you're going to have enough toilet paper. Everybody's going to be okay, right? I'm using that as an analogy because people are, you know, getting a little out there with this end of the world, and everybody's prophesizing from all different levels. And honestly, if you pull away from the news and you don't look at the news and you don't look at social media, you will be a much, much happier person. I'm also hearing for some of you, this isn't all of you, but this is for some of you, you have a terrible habit of falling into the comparison pitfall, meaning like, you know, Joe Blow over here has got X, Y, and Z, and you're like, oh, maybe I should do that. And Spirit's like, no, if that's what Joe Blow needs to do, then that's what Joe Blow needs to do. But if you are somebody that's like, okay, I do like that chili, but like 3 cans is fine. I don't need to get like 10 cans of that chili. You know, like, you don't like have to prepare for the apocalypse. You know, this planet and this country is full of so much plenty. Honestly, there's full of so much plenty everywhere. Nobody's going to starve to death. You know, the whole reason why they started the GMO thing and all that is they were like, we just don't have enough people to feed. It's like, well, maybe if people didn't eat a lot of food and like find their comfort in like over, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, I noticed for myself when I was going through my illness, when I had pancreatitis, it was amazing to me how much more our grocery bill went down because I wasn't in my addictive food thing where I was like, oh, you know, okay, well, I'm going to spend $30 on like junk food for the weekend. And, you know, whatever. It's like, then all of a sudden $30 was like enough food for me to eat for the whole week. And I can eat super, super healthy. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so much better for me, right? So it's in that kind of, they had me give you that analogy for a reason, you know, or maybe you're somebody that like, you want to stretch things. You'd be surprised what you could do. Sometimes, like, if I have a soup that I really like, I'll be like, oh, that's a really good soup. And so what I'll do is I will add more water to it, and then I'll add like some nutritional yeast and a little bit more seasoning and a little bit more oil, just so that the water that offset it doesn't like thin out the flavor of the soup. But just adding like a quart of water can add like another meal for us, and all I have to do is kind of just add a few things on top of it, right? So that kind of thing, like, so you're storing your nuts, but you're not getting like crazy, and the, you know, and I hope crazy isn't a trigger word for some people. I just think it's just a terminology for like kind of like not in your like correct state of energy, correct, like, and you're not present, like you're like kind of manic and like out there. So do you hear what I'm saying with that? And I got that really strongly from the beginning, that some of you guys are like just overdoing it in terms of you just want to be, you're in that Boy Scout thing. Well, I just want to be prepared. And I know even some of you, like Spirit's saying that they see you, the ones of you that are like, well, I just want to make sure because maybe my neighbor doesn't have toilet paper and then I'll have it for them. That's awesome. And they're like, we love you. Like, that's where they're like, yes, like I got such a, like, you're like, hey, no, Mountain, I got this. Like, I got me, I got you, I got you, I got everybody. But they're like, but it's not your job. You don't have to do that. It's awesome that you do, but you don't have to do that. So there's that. And then they're having me go into the energy readings. Also, I said this earlier, but our reading was brought to us by Peppermint. So Peppermint might be something really nice for you guys. Only get real peppermint though, because I'll tell you, I can really smell the difference. The peppermint that's not a natural essential oil of peppermint actually has like almost like a gasoline or like a chemical smell to it, where natural peppermint should smell really sweet. Oh, and I love how Spirit like will tell me something from another pile that I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I was going to say that, but it doesn't matter now. So work with peppermint essential oil, especially if you have a diffuser. Put it in your diffuser at night while you're sleeping. It will really, really help you sleep. Or just to have it around for calming. Peppermint is super calming. I don't put it like on sensitive parts of my body, especially straight peppermint like this, but just a teeny, like I barely even like tilted it. It didn't even like stream down. It's like you can get a lot, and then you can keep it on you. Or I have a friend of mine who will put it in her hair. You know, she puts it in her hair. She puts her calming oils in her hair so she can just go like this. But I like to put it on my wrists, because in that way it's like I can just kind of smell it. So work with energies to like help keep you calm during this holiday season. Okay, and we're not going to read the contrary right now. I feel like we're going to read it, but it's not to do with this one right now. This one came out, Man Holding Heart, number 45, but it was in reverse. This feels very androgynous to me, even though they have, it's interesting, I was talking about hair. Even though that it's, you know, it's a man, like it's like, I feel like this is a masculine energy. So we're going to read more into this because it's in reverse. So I want to see what Spirit has to say about that. Because I feel like as much as you guys are in a high vibration, remember it was about like releasing and like shaking it off. So I feel like this card is like, has something to say. Male dealing with family, love, or emotions. Okay. When this card is reversed, it could indicate a disconnect or even total shutdown regarding your emotional life. It's time to open up and know that you can handle deep emotions and the energy they bring up. Whether it's anger, grief, or utter bliss, you can be comfortable in their experience and in their expression. The man holding a heart reversed can also indicate a difficult connection or even relationship with a man who may be easy to anger, deceitful, or quick to criticize. His behavior could be attributed to fear and self-doubt, yet he would never admit it. You deserve honoring in any relationship, so set some boundaries and don't buy into this emotional chaos. Your soul longs for emotional peace. I also got at the beginning when they started, when they were talking about the disconnect and the total shutdown from your emotional life, I feel like you guys are like the flitty fairy and you're putting all this good energy out there, like, I can do it and you can do it, blah, blah, but they're like, but like, what are you doing for you in the background? Because in the background, I'm getting like, that's not how you're feeling though. Like in the background, you're feeling kind of rough. Like I'm feeling like, for some of you, not everybody, and maybe it's because you're an empath and so you're around this like kind of like gruff negative male energy that's like kind of bringing you down, and so on the surface you're like everything's all sunshine and rainbows, but like on the inside you're like kind of crumbling and you're falling apart and you're like, I don't know what to do, like I just feel like I can't, and they're like, you know what to do. And I don't need to read that again. I feel like you know what to do. And we're not even going to like go any further with that card. I do want to see though, because I felt like there were a few cards that wanted to pop out here. So let me ask Spirit, for pile number 5 for this squirrel, are there any more messages, Spirit, that you'd like to, any clarifiers? This is a mass reading, so are there any more messages from this group? No? Okay, well, there we go. The next deck that we have is the 4 Agreements. The 4 Agreements. Let's see if there's anything from this deck that we want. Okay, these two. This was from another one, but they want me to bring it here too. Okay. Be impeccable with your word. Cultivate faith. So maybe on the outside it looks like you got a shitload of faith, but on the inside you're like kind of scared shitless about what's going to happen. So you're like, maybe you're hoarding whatever, you know, because I'm definitely feeling like a hoarding mentality, and it's beyond the squirrel, and it's starting to feel even stronger. Like I almost feel like some of you are even feeling more anxiety than when you started this reading, which kind of makes me sad, but that's where you are and that's okay. Like I'm just saying, it makes me sad for you. So, you know, you don't need to hold that. You don't need to carry that for anybody. It says to have great faith is to have great power, because your intent, your will is undivided. When your word isn't dissipated by doubt, the power of your word becomes even stronger. And also, is there another spirit animal? I feel like there may be another spirit animal here that wants to talk to our group here. Yes. Oh, the salmon, number 49, which is also the number 13, which is also number 4, and it can really go down to the number 1. But it was in reverse. Oh, this is one of my favorite cards. I can't wait to read this to you guys. Okay, salmon, 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 salmon. And then we're going to get to these other cards right here. Salmon. Ooh, it was right there. Wisdom, inner knowing. Salmon, keeper of inner knowing, illuminate all that I can see. Fill me with the love of learning, life's sacred wisdom offered to me. If salmon has floated belly up into your cards today, recklessness may have kept you from achieving a goal. Are you ignoring the wise advice of others or your own inner wisdom, your own inner voice of wisdom? Contrary salmon may be telling you to be still for a time and find the flow again. Ask yourself where you became distracted or confused. Then imagine returning to the place you last felt certain of yourself. Feeling a sense of serenity means you are tapping your inner knowing and wisdom again. If you have been seeking the approval of others by being a follower instead of listening to your own personal knowing, it may be time to reclaim your own authority. Are you stubbornly rejecting the truth of a situation, trying to be right or in control, and overriding your instinctual wisdom or inner knowing? If so, get out of your head and get back to the wisdom found in your heart and feelings. Like salmon, people sometimes need to backtrack upstream to see where life's meandering tributaries flowed away from the original headwaters of their certainty, wisdom, instinct, and inner knowing. That's powerful. Okay, so, and then of these cards, Spirit, what message? This one. Oh, I knew it. Don't take anything personally. Be immune to others' opinions. You may also want to look up turtle spirit animal. Since we're working with spirit animals today, any animals that come into these readings, it's like if we don't talk about it, you may want to look that up. And this says, what others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. And look at, see that sweet little turtle's like trying to like reach out the olive branch? And it almost feels like too, like for some of you guys, like it's like you're hoarding your emotions, even like you're not like sharing like certain things with people because you don't know how they're going to respond or react. And Spirit's saying, but why would you do that? Why would you even hold back like who you are or what your gifts are or what you're brought here to do? Always do your best. Take action without expecting a reward. Yeah, that's a powerful one. This says, do your best and take the action because you love it, not because you expect a reward. When you take action without expecting a reward, you enjoy every action and you can even receive greater rewards than you imagined. Yes. It's like the attraction thing, right? Like you by like not expecting anything, you naturally get like stuff, right? It's really powerful. Okay, so this says, don't take anything personally. Relinquish self-importance. Personal importance, or taking things personally, is the maximum expression of selfishness because we make the assumption that everything is about me. And if you guys are not dealing with the emotional body, right? If you're not in the emotional body, if you're not dealing with the emotional body, you can take a screenshot if you want. I feel like somebody needs that. If you're not in your emotional body, then you're not fully participating in the world, are you, right? Like you're only giving like bits and pieces of yourself. I've been screaming this from the rooftops lately. I'm like, be vulnerable, show people who you really are. It's okay to cry, it's okay to feel things, you know, but we need to work through them, not hold them in. Always do your best. Your best is changing all the time. Always do your best. And see how like, this is a follow your own compass, and see how she's just going with the flow, going for the ride. It's like she's not sure where that horse is going to take her. I look up horse spirit medicine too, and look at that, northwest, south, and east. It's like, what's going on? Which direction are you headed? Are you going backwards or are you moving forwards? Or are you just not going in any direction at all? When you hear an opinion and believe it, you make an agreement and it becomes part of your belief system. The only thing that can break this agreement is to make a new one based on truth. Only the truth has the power to set you free. Let me get in there so you guys can... I'm trying to find it where you can get a good screenshot. There we go. Be impeccable with your word. Seek to know the truth. This has been coming about lately a lot. Seek to know the truth. Also, are some of you writers, or have you been thinking about writing? Have you been thinking about doing storytelling? Children love that right now. Now that they can't like be around people. Are you somebody that loves to read books for kids? What about starting your own YouTube channel? Like, it's not about the money, but you just want to do it, and you never know what could happen. I mean, honestly, like I'm that's something I'm working on right now too. Is like, you know, it's like you don't know what could happen, or who will see that and be like, wow, hey, can we, you know, sponsor you? And it's somebody that, you know, you really believe in them and or their products or whatever. Maybe it's somebody local, or maybe it's a big company, but they're like a really good company, right? And they're like, hey, we'll pay you X amount of dollars to read books to kids online. As long as we can, as long as we can advertise here or whatever. So there are a lot of things there. I feel like that's like a whole other thing for somebody in particular. So I hope that resonates and helps. Okay, do we have anything else for pile number 5? Do we need to go back in and read any more from the squirrel? Does the squirrel want to? Okay. I felt like that too, like the squirrel wanted to come back in. Okay, the contrary squirrel. The contrary medicine of squirrel is the hoarder, a fearful person who expects the worst and is stuck in waiting. Waiting for something to happen is the trap. No action equals stagnation, but a little of squirrel's erratic energy might get things moving. If squirrel is hanging upside down on your branch, you may have begun seeing the world through opposites, hoarding your thoughts of abundance so that the fear of scarcity takes hold, right? And if you're scared of not having money, then the money won't come. You may ask yourself these 4 questions. Have I denied my ability to produce enough space for abundance to enter my life? Have I denied my connection to the Earth Mother from whom all things flow? Number 3, in moving too fast, have I taken on the erratic nature of Squirrel without having any focus? Right? Because Squirrel's just, are you the erratic side where Squirrel's like, oh no, I need this, or he zips across the street and he wasn't looking, wasn't paying attention, and he got hit, right? It's like, it's like, how are you showing up for yourself? Are you like ungrounded so much that you're like, hoarding in a negative capacity? The last is, am I leaking my energy on worry instead of gathering power through being prepared? Remember, one of the squirrel family gathered the energy of eagle and connected to the Great Spirit. Now the squirrel can fly. Right? The flying squirrel. Have you ever heard that story? So here are the questions. I don't know if you can get a screenshot of that. Try and get a screenshot, and then you can work with those questions. Now I believe, and you can pause it, pause it and get a screenshot. Are there any other messages from any other cards? Okay, nope, that's it. Those are your messages, pile number 5. I think I might have called you pile number 4. Thank you so much for stopping by, and if you'd like to have a reading or donate to this channel, all the information is below. Also, you may want to stay tuned because I'm doing a bonus card next, if you feel the pull to the bonus card. If not, we'll see you next time. Bless be. Oh, bye. Hey, bonus pile. Well, this one was really exciting because I was like, I wasn't sure how this was going to go down, but all of a sudden I got this vibe of like, let's get ready to rumble. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. So, our spirit animal for our bonus pile, what we need to work on, if you were drawn to the bonus pile, is alligator spirit medicine, number 50, which is really interesting because we've had a lot of 5s, and we've had a lot of 5s throughout this, which 5s are about change and transformation. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. I just wanted to have the candle there. It was like, oh, I was like, we're missing some candlelight over there. Anyway, so welcome to the bonus pile. So as we already spoke about this, our theme for this new moon transformational reading is about release and what we need to shake off, because the hate is gonna hate. I actually, should have wrote down the words, but I'll look them up. It's interesting because I said to Spirit, hold on. Here we go. Because I want to see what our theme is, but I also want to bring up the lyrics while it's coming on. So, shake it off. Okay. So it says, I stay out too late. Got nothing in my brain. That's what people say. That's what people say. I go on too many dates, but I can't make them stay. At least that's what people say. That's what people say. But I keep cruising, can't stop, won't stop moving. It's like I got this music in my mind saying it's going to be all right. Because the player's going to play, and the hater's going to hate. And baby, I'm just going to shake it off, right? Heartbreaker's going to break, and the faker's going to fake. Baby, I'm just going to shake it off. I'll never miss a beat. I'm lightning on my feet. And that's why they don't see me. That's what they don't see, right? I'm dancing on my own. I'll make the moves up as I go. And that's what they don't know. That's what they don't know. So I'm going to keep cruising. Can't stop, won't stop grooving. It's like I got this music in my mind saying it's going to be all right. And then it goes on and on because the hater's going to hate, whatever. And then she says, hey, just think while you've been getting down. Remember, this is the part where she goes, just think while you've been getting down and out about the liars and the dirty cheats in the world, you could have been getting down with this sick beat, right? So it's like, I feel like what Spirit's saying about that is like, the cultivation of this reading for all of us is that, we decide how we want to show up on this journey, and we decide how we want to, allow other people's energy to influence us, right? Because people are going to talk smack, and people are going to do things, and they're going to say things, and they're not going to understand what you're doing. And even right now, a lot of people are like, pulling to like, religions, or they're like, wow, I never believed in anything before, but now I'm like, this is some scary shit. Like, people are like starting to see like what's really happening, right? So, where's that part? What did you say, Spirit? Oh, so they're saying, and the fakers are going to fake. There's a lot of people right now who are like jumping in on the spiritual bandwagon. There's a lot of bullshit out there, a lot of bullshit. So be mindful of that. And then here's our song for what's the theme for this, Spirit? So it's the Bach Brandenburg Concertos. I don't want to play it though because let me see. If I play this, will it be able to be played on YouTube? Like legally and all that? Oh, they said yes it would, but they're like, but they're going to actually put this song on there for us to listen to. It's the sound of the song. Okay, I hear what they're saying. So I will put the link to the song with this, but then also it's the music itself that they want us to like, almost like that it's like our theme song, but they want you to go listen to it, right? Like that's the theme song. And now I'm even, because I listen to Bach all the time and I think I know what song this one is, but I'm not that person that's like, oh yes, it's Concerto number 33 and Sonata, which I'm not making fun of. I'm just saying that's awesome if people can do that. But like I know that I talked to a friend one time and he's like, what's the difference of you knowing the title of a song that I know the number? I'm like, because sometimes it'll go really vast, right? Like it's like this one, it's Concerto number 3 in G major, BWV 1048 number 3 Allegro. It's like, what the fucking fuck? Like to me, I'm just like, what? Anyway, so but they want us to hear the music because that's kind of like our theme music to take us like through the new moon energy. So that's gonna be exciting. But these are the words. Oh, I love it. Butterflies by Ryan Stewart, and it's called In the Dreaming Hour. Butterflies by Ryan Stewart, In the Dreaming Hour. Okay, all right, where are we at? Okay, so we are going to read from the alligator, because that was our spirit animal. So let's see what the alligator has to say. Beautiful alligator. Alligator's old. Ooh, interesting. This hasn't opened up in a while, but it did, so I'm going to talk about it. One time I took notes on something, and they want me to read this. So this is what we need to release and shake it off. This is part of it. It says, dysfunctional families build warrior empaths. We learn how to read others. And then it's, let me see what this says. Oh, how our thoughts and our emotions, they create our energy field. And think of it as like a tuning fork mentality. And if you don't know what a tuning fork is, research it. And for those of you who understand, you know it's like the boing, like that kind of like the tuning, like getting into like the energy. So taking almost like a sample of like what the energy is out there. And for some of you, like if I'm starting to feel like I don't want to leave the house, luckily for me, Edward is like a warrior and he's like, I'll go out and do stuff. And so he's been great. I've tried very hard not to go out as much as possible. So for some of you, if you can do this, I highly recommend that you like make a list. You know, and when Ed comes home, I used to get mad, but now I'm like, when he comes home with the wrong thing, I don't get mad anymore because I think, you know what? I didn't go, and I gave him explicit instructions, and I could get mad about this, but I'm like, you know what? I could go myself. So that is for somebody because I'm like, but it's interesting that it's the butterflies, and then both of these wanted to come into the reading today. So I think it's interesting that this was like our bonus card, and butterflies are all about transformation. So let's see, alligator. Integration. Alligator, let me drop my judgments, accepting life with grace, so that forlorn care and worry will vanish from my face. Let me integrate each moment, digesting life with ease, and counting all my experiences as equal opportunities. The powerful gift of alligator medicine is to fully appreciate and integrate all that life offers. Gator shows us the value of thoroughly digesting both the pleasures and pains of life. In many ways, alligator's medicine is reflected in its behavior. When Gator rolls under the water with its prey, its message is to roll with the punches when being attacked by life's circumstances. Carefully storing its prey under a log until the meat is tender teaches us about patience and proper timing, even if the visual is kind of gross for us vegetarians and vegans. But you get it. Choosing to laugh when tangled in your own seriousness can immediately diffuse the stranglehold of anger and judgments, self-importance, and inflexibility. Once your rigidity is removed, you are free to again integrate the present set of circumstances, finding what you may have formerly overlooked. Then you can learn Gator's lessons on how to digest the value of any life lesson. Gator medicine people refrain from passing judgment until they have examined all the facts and seen all sides of any situation. It may be time to drop opinions and judgments so that the present situation can be fully understood. Gator might have surfaced in the river of your life to tell you to digest the situation at hand before making any rash moves. You could also be dealing with someone who is too serious or rigid. If this is the case, embrace your flexibility, knowing that you are expanding beyond your former limits, even if others are wallowing in their own self-created quicksand. Okay, sidebar. I just, because this is for the collective, this is like the bonus card for everybody. Man, that really resonates. That like really hits home with me. Because for the most part lately, I've just been trying to laugh shit off. And I'm just like, shake it off. Like I've been in that. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I'm fine. Like everything's fine. And then like yesterday, one little thing like set me on a tangent for hours where I was just like, and then I even like went to bed with that, and then I woke up with that, and I was like, why am I still going through this? I'm like, it's my birthday week. Like whenever you say this, whatever. But for me personally, it's like it's in my birthday week, and I was just like, damn it, like like I want everything to be perfect or whatever. But there's no such thing. It's like I cannot make this person understand faster than they're understanding. It's like I'm trying to get them to like jump out of their cocoon when they're still in the cocoon becoming who they are, but I want them to be who I want them to be, right? But that's controlling, and that's not being helpful. And I realize for myself right now, it's like we have to be the butterfly. We have to change and evolve with the situation. And even if we feel like we want to explode and whatever, then we need to take a walk and take a breather and be like, I need to walk away for a minute. Can you just give me a minute? I need a minute. And go take that minute and get it out if you need, and shake it off. Shake it off. Just shake it off, and then come back in fighting, like the fighter. Come back in, like, once you like had that moment to kind of relax and rest, then you can come back in, okay? So there's that. And I'm gonna see, because I just heard Edward pull up, so this might mean that it's done. Are we done with the alligator medicine for now? Yes. Oh, there's Edward now. Hold on. Okay, I almost forgot actually that these three cards actually all from the energy deck and from the Four Agreements deck and the energy deck. If you've been watching the other readings, then we've been pulling from there, and we've been pulling from the spirit, the animal medicine cards. But earlier when I was shuffling a few different times, random cards flew out, and I took a break for a minute because Ed came in and got settled, and I forgot that I had picked up these stray cards, and Spirit said, no, this is for the bonus. And I was like, oh yay. So I love when that happens. Okay, so we got that great information from the alligator, but now let's see what other things Spirit wants to say next. Okay. Goddess of the Moon, number 52. Okay, so I believe we're all meant to look this up. So my life path number is 7, but 52 is also the number 7, so maybe 52 resonates for you, so you might want to look up angel number 52. Otherwise, definitely look up angel number 7, because it came out a lot through the other readings, just like the number 5 did as well. So Goddess of the Moon, what energy do we want? What is that, Spirit? 52. And also, I feel like wasn't one of our other cards a 52? I may have gotten sidetracked. Anyway, doesn't really matter. Okay. And let me see. Do we want to read both of these, upright and reverse? Okay. Was it in reverse? Because it was on the floor now, so I don't remember. Okay, so is it upright? Okay, so Goddess of the Moon, intuition going within. Of course. This card shows an eternal spirit holding the bright reflective moon and standing in front of the crystal clear waters of a sparkling waterfall. Her arms are stretched upward, receiving the light of the moon, the light of inspiration. This card is all about intuition, the ability to receive insights from your soul's point of view. Receiving the card upright tells you that you have the power to get intuitive information on all types of issues, and now is the time to use it. The Goddess of the Moon brings you all sorts of information, from the mundane to the spectacular. For instance, you could get the urge to take a different route home from work and find out later that you've avoided a 3-hour traffic jam. Or you might have an idea for a great invention or a stock investment or even a spellbinding novel. This card could also indicate a significant blossoming of psychic ability and mediumship, even on a professional level. You're always blessed with this ability to connect, but this card is telling you that now is the perfect time to open up. Get ready for the amazing inspiration this brings. It's also on page 166, which is the number 13. Wah, wah, wah. Yay! Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Thank you, Goddess of the Moon. Thank you, Goddess of the Moon. And I love that this is, even though it looks more like a full moon, I love that, this is for our new moon reading for the tribe. Oh, look at this, number 4, happy family. I feel like this is Spirit, like, talking to us right now. And let me make sure that this is this in the upright position? You want me to only read it in the reverse position? Only? Okay. So in the reverse, so it's number 4. And in the reverse position, it says, what did you say, Spirit? They said, look at your thing right now. Ooh, look at that Armageddon film score. What? They said it's all going to make sense in a minute. When the happy family card is reversed, it indicates a separation or emotional distance from family members or close friends. This disconnect may be from your family of origin, such as your parents or siblings, or it may be that something is standing between you and your present family members, whether it be your children or your spouse. There could be some hostilities that need to be worked out, or perhaps some fences that need to be mended. Communication and patience may be called for here, so let your intuition be your guide. Remember, real healing starts when you choose to become your own loving parent, sibling, spouse, friend, or child. The lesson in every relationship is self-honoring, and sometimes the karma is just to let go. The affirmation is, I open myself to a new and deeper experience of family, and I am ready to see greater happiness there. I know that I am the loving family that I need. And it's also on page number 13. Isn't that interesting? So look up the number, angel number 13, and also, my birthday's coming up, By the time you see this, I mean, they're timeless or whatever, but I bet it'll be on or around my birthday, the 13th of December. Wow, powerful, okay? And then our last card is, always do your best. Do your best because you want to. Yes. You do your best when you are enjoying the action or doing it in a way that will not have negative repercussions for you. You do your best because you want to do it, not because you have to do it, not because you are trying to please the judge, and not because you are trying to please other people. Yeah, so for some of you, it's like, you know, your family is, you know, my friend gave me a magnet once that said, friends are the family you choose for yourself. And it's so true. It's like, you know, it doesn't have to be your blood and bone family. It doesn't have to be. It could be other people. And, you know, maybe, you know, part of what the alligator is trying to say is like to have patience right now. It doesn't mean we're going to stop talking to people forever. Some people we may come back around to again. But, you know, you don't owe anybody anything, not even your family. And I know that's hard to hear sometimes, but it's true. Are there any last messages from the 4 Agreements deck? I was feeling something coming from this deck. Anything, Spirit? Okay, 2 more. Oh, we just had this one. Your best is changing all the time. Always do your best. Yes, your best is changing all the time. Your best will depend on whether you are refreshed in the morning or tired at night. Your best will be different when you are happy as opposed to upset, or healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstances, simply do your best and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. Yes, and go at your own pace, Spirit just said. Go at your own pace. Oh, we just brought this one up too. Be immune to others' opinions. Don't take anything personally. Yes. Even if they're pissed at you or they don't understand, they don't need to understand. They don't need to understand. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Right? And also look up the turtle spirit animal. Any animals, the horse spirit animal that just came up on that, any animals that came up in your cards today that, you know, were outside of your card. Or even this, look at this. We've had so much cat energy. Look at the cat sticking out its tongue. How cute. It says, always do your best. Take your life and enjoy it. Yes, we're not here to suffer. Even as starseeds, we're here to work, but nobody says we have to suffer in the process. That's like some old programming. Like, have fun. It says, you are alive, so take your life and enjoy it. You were born with the right to be happy, to love, and to share your love. Just to be, to take a risk and enjoy your life. That is all that matters. That's all that matters. Yeah, I know it's hard. I'm right there with you. I'm in this bonus pile with you, right? Because I'm part of the tribe, so it doesn't matter which one I pulled. Ooh. Being impeccable, you take responsibility for your actions, but you do not judge or blame yourself for anything. Be impeccable with your word. Let go of self-judgment and blame. Yeah, it doesn't matter how you got there, who hurt who. It doesn't matter. Just walk away. You don't need to have the last word. I specifically heard for some of you, you don't need to have the last word. You know, I remember one time I had this really huge fight with someone, and just we were going back and forth with emails, and it just got out of control. It was really stupid, and then it just got to a point where it was so ugly that I was like, wow, I don't think we can come back from this. You know, I was like, I can't come back from this. And I remember talking to one of my friends, and I said, I don't know what to do. I'm like, should I? I'm like, here. I'm like, this is what I wrote so far. What do you think? And I read it to them, and they're like, I would say nothing. I'm like, why? And they're like, well, I mean, they pretty much said everything. It's like you kind of said whatever, and then they like went for your jugular. If you go for their jugular back, it's going to enrage them more. They're like, what's going to really upset them is if you say nothing. She goes, even if inside they're like, haha, I won. She's like, let them. What did they win? You gave them nothing. So, you know what I mean? Sometimes silence speaks fucking volumes. Silence doesn't admit defeat. Silence says, I will no longer be in a boxing ring with another person who is unarmed, right? Like, I remember one time I had gotten into this argument with this person, and they weren't very educated, and they were just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and I was like, man, I can like really like tear this person down and like and burn and like rip them to shreds in seconds. I could like, you know, tear them down and I won't even like break a sweat kind of thing, right? And then I just finally said to them, you know what, I'm not going to go into a battle with someone who's unarmed. And they were like, what is that supposed to mean? And I'm like, take it for whatever you want it to mean. But I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Because I was like, I could slay you with just a few words. But what will that gain? Well, am I going to feel better about myself that I made someone like hate themselves? Right? And I had that with my partner recently. I was like, we were trying to talk about something, and I was like, I asked them like how they felt about it, and they're like, oh well, now I feel like shit about myself. I feel bad, and I've been thinking about that ever since we talked about it. And I was like, well, that sucks. Like, I don't want them to feel bad. I don't want them to suffer. But I think a part of me did, right? They did me wrong. They hurt me. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe you should suffer a little bit. But who really suffered? Me. I was the one that was crying and was more upset. And then I hated myself afterwards. And I don't even want to use the word hate, but I did. I was just like, gosh, why am I doing this? Like, you know, this person is like doing their best with what they have. And it's like, if I keep pushing, it's like, how is that going to help them? It's not. So take that in consideration. Don't make assumptions. Learn to ask questions. It is always better to ask questions than to make assumptions. Have the courage to ask questions until you are as clear as you can be. Once you hear the answer to a question, you won't have to make assumptions because you will know the truth. And sometimes we don't want to ask the hard questions, do we? Because we know, hold on, Baba. Because we know the answers. And sometimes the answer is not what we need or are looking for or want. And it hurts. Sometimes the answers hurt, but sometimes we have to hear it. And our last card is, in any kind of relationship, we can make the assumption that others know what we think. And we don't have to say what we want. We assume they are going to do what we want because they know us well. If they don't do what we want, we feel hurt and think, how can you do that? You should know. Another thing that happened recently. So this one's definitely for me. Is this one for you? And it says, don't make assumptions. Assume nothing. Just also, the other side of the assuming nothing is want nothing. If you want nothing, then you will not be disappointed with whatever you get. And those are our messages. I'm going to see if there's any more Babas at the door. First it was Ed, then it was Baba. So let me see. Are there any more messages? Any more cards you want us to pull today, Spirit? Nope, that was it. So have a blessed new moon in the solar eclipse energy. Do your homework, do your due diligence in all these areas. I know I'm going to do the same, and I'll see you next time. If you'd like to donate to this channel or if you'd like to book a reading with me, all the information is below, and I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh, bye.